Hello, good evening. Welcome back. I'm Professor McCoy, and we are tonight back to Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic. Are we? Oh, this is why. Hold on. Ah, there we go. Should have checked that beforehand. That's better. Now I'm in the right spot. Here we go. Now that I'm up here, we are actually back to Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic 2, the Sith Lords Restored Content Modification. One of the longest titles of a video game I've ever seen, but glad to be back. Very, very glad to be back. So, anyway, without too much further ado, let's get back into it, because we have, tonight, we have to get into, this one. Yeah. We have to get into, actually getting to the first real, major planet. Go to, Telos. Or Telos. It's pronounced Telos in the game, but it is the Greek word that it is very obviously based off of is Telos, which is actually a good thing to point out to start. Very good container, huh? Let's see what this is. Oh, it does open up. Ooh, various things. Very cool. So, this is one of those things in this game that I've never quite been able to figure out. And if anybody has the insights, hold on, I'll fix something real quick. Just realizing my setup has issues. I had to update OBS, and upon updating OBS, I have some weird issues with. No, Neophyte armor is just strictly better. All right. X+1. Focus blaster pistol. Nah. What's this? Prerequisites. What prerequisites? I know, but... Oh, medium armor. That's why. Okay, Anyway, whatever. Point being, as I was going to be saying, is that, Telos. Pick your favorite pronunciation. The Greek word telos means end. End, goal, function even. Function's a stretch. But purpose. What something is for and what something is directed towards. Actually, function isn't quite right. That's ergon, which is closely related but is different. Ergon is more the function of what something does and how it does it, whereas telos is what it is for, its final cause, its end, or its end state, or what it strives towards naturally. I don't need to do any of that right now. And so, this is interesting, to me at least, that in what is obviously a philosophically rich game, one which is very consciously aware of its philosophical underpinnings, mostly having to do with Jedi and the Sith, would name the major starter planet and hub world for a very philosophically rich concept in ancient Greek, Telos. Just camera. Okay. T3. The first thing, could you please stop moving around the ship? It's hard to find you. That is a clear reference to how he just stands perfectly still in place, as do all of the other companions in the previous game. Whereas in this one, they wander about for various reasons, which is really cool, which is a really good improvement from the previous game to this one. And in fact, it's actually it's one of the things that I've noted more than a full decade after this game came out, that BioWare finally picked back up on. The difference between Mass Effect 1 and 2, where all the companions had their specific spot on the ship on the Normandy, whereas Mass Effect 3, they're all over the place, depending on who they're talking to and what they're doing. Anyway, I thought that was a really cool change. It's a really cool change here. I dig it. Anyway, back to my point about Telos, or Telos, whatever you want to call it. The interesting point to me is that it is the sort of end or the objective of this part of the game, and then also of a later part of the game, but not the final part of the game. Certainly not the end game. It's not the summary goal of the game at all, like you would think a planet called Telos would be if you're really being philosophically astute about it. So it's got to be something like this. It's a goal in some way, maybe the goal of the Telos Reclamation Project, I guess, which is something that we're going to approach and talk about very shortly throughout the stream. But I don't know. I have yet to really figure out why exactly it is called Telos, because that has to be significant. That it strikes me as bizarre that they would have a planet named in such a way and it be completely insignificant. But I can't figure it out. I've played this game half a dozen times over the years, both before and after learning about the philosophical concept. Because I played this game, maybe. No, actually, now that I think about it, the first time I played this game was while I was taking my first Intro to Philosophy course, when I was learning about what Telos means in teleology, and I couldn't make heads or tails of it then either. So basically, since I first played this game, I haven't been able to make heads or tails of it. So, and that was 13 years ago, whereas this game is 19 years old. I didn't play this when it first came out. I should have. I absolutely should have. But I didn't. I only played it sometime later, sadly. Anyway, if anybody has any thoughts on this, I'd be absolutely fascinated to hear any possible insights. Because even a lot of the video essays that I've seen, those aren't really essays about this game, sadly. Even a lot of the people analyzing this game from a philosophical perspective don't make anything of that connection. And I don't know. There's got to be something to it. Anyway, do you know where that HK droid in the cargo bay came from? No, I don't have good enough influence. That didn't sound very convincing. Are you sure you don't know? Okay, you're nervous. I had other questions, I guess. You look like you've suffered a lot of damage over the years. Yeah. How much? A specific amount. So you lost a lot of programs in your behavioral core, in addition to the damage to your frame? Yeah. Well, I'm sure you'll gain that skill back. I'm glad to have you along. Yay, happy beeps. I might be able to upgrade your memory core. Deet deet. Alright, let me take a look. Deet. Yay! It worked. Hold on, how do you feel? Sounds good. Due to your computer skills, T3 has gained +1 intelligence. Yay! What do you mean I faded out there for a second? You were shut down. Deet. I had other questions. Let's go repair. You look like you're in need of some routine maintenance. Sure. Just sit still. This won't take long. Oh, oopsie. Must have let my Hydro Spanner in there. Alright, we'll try again later. For now, I have some more questions. I need a programming spike. I'll put this to good use. Never mind. I'll be going. Thank you. Influence gained. Alright, let's talk to Atten. See what he has to say about anything. Okay. The astrogation's locked. That is some low-res hyperspace. Anyway.
How's our passenger? She's still aging?
For someone without much to say, she sure says a lot.
Yeah, to you, maybe. I don't usually hear much beyond fool and imbecile. She's lucky she's a Jedi, or someone would have killed her years ago. I mean, how old do you think she is? She may have been good-looking once, but it takes some hard living to make creases like that.
Good looking? Are you that desperate?
Hey, I just got out of prison. If we had a decent Navicomputer, trust me, we'd be dropping out of hyperspace into the Nar Shaddaa Red Sector right now.
Oh, we will soon, unfortunately. Let's focus on getting to Telos for the time being.
Like we have a choice? It's the only place Paragus had logged in their astrogation charts.
Well, if you thought Paragus was dead, then Telos is a dying world they're trying to breathe back to life. Should be there before too long. You can check our course on the galaxy map if you want. It's on the wall behind you.
Oh, good. Never mind. I wanted to ask you some questions.
Oh, no. Look, I respect your privacy. I mean, when have I ever asked you any questions? I mean, besides that one.
He's doing the whole Caden I don't want to talk about it thing, being the generic first human companion, I suppose. It's kind of required. You know anything about that assassin droid?
Not much. Except sounds like it was after you. As far as I'm concerned, you handled that pretty well. No more droid, no more problem.
What would make droids go crazy like that?
Yeah, well, you got me there. Look, droids, I don't trust them. That one we fought, some of them are built like that. Others just, well, break. In the head. Sometimes conflicting orders cause it. Give a droid too much data or tell it to do something it can't do, it'll crack their behavior module in half. Others just don't get memory wipes and they start going crazy. Speaking of which, I think that little trash compactor's long overdue. Trust me, droids were made to break. And most of all, they're predictable and stupid.
Not if they break, though. That's unpredictable, and they can get dangerously smart, as you just went over. Yeah, the thing about... that's actually something really neat about droids in Star Wars, is that they can basically develop sentience. Over time, if they don't have a memory wipe, it's basically they're basically a learning AI system, which can gradually become more and more sophisticated to the point where it becomes self-aware, more or less. Which is an interesting concept to come up with, and an interesting way to develop something like true AI. Strong AI, if you will. Especially interesting that this was an idea that was come up with in, like, the late 80s, at the latest, which was way before the explosion in what would you call it? I guess developmental AI research or procedural AI research that has been the last half decade or so. It's really cool that was more or less predicted. That is, in some ways, how a strong AI could develop, if it can develop. What do you mean about the galaxy map not being of much use?
Well, the astrogation system is voice printed and locked down, but that T3 unit is doubling as the astrogation system. You can try to plot a course, but without that T3 unit to perform the calculations, you'd probably plow us into a star. As long as he doesn't steal the ship, we should be all right.
Okay. Why would someone lock the astrogation system?
Takes all kinds. Maybe someone didn't want anybody taking the ship out of the system, or knowing where the ship had been. Smugglers do it all the time in case the Republic decides to board them. Or so I hear.
Hello, Lady Revan. Welcome. Welcome. Glad to have you. You're, not that far into the game, even though this is our third 3-hour stream. That's actually one of the things that I think is most often complained about Paragus is how damn long the introductory planet takes. That said, as I've said before, as I said last week, I really strongly prefer Paragus to Taurus as far as opening planets, introductory planets go. Just primarily because of the thematic continuity, let's say. One of the things that I don't like about Taurus, and I've talked about this a lot, even back then, is that everything you do that doesn't come with you is completely meaningless, just because everyone dies. If the entire planet gets shelled, everybody except for the Undercity exiles die immediately. And they, as we find out in SOTOR, turn out to find the Promised Land, but that it's an irradiated wasteland, and they all slowly and horrifically die off from rat ghouls and radiation. All terrible things. And everything else, all the good that you do is utterly meaningless. That bugs me, especially because it doesn't match with the thematic structure of the rest of the game, which is all about actually making a difference in the lives of the people around you. Because KOTOR 1 is a pretty standard RPG, whereas this one is a kind of subversive narrative structure, where so much of the narrative of the overall story, so much of the thematic structure of the story is about the the contest between you, the hero, and fate, or the will of the Force. That's Krea's whole thing. Right? And so Peragus is this place that you're sort of just thrust into. You have no idea how you got there, and it's a mystery. It's utterly a mystery, and you have no idea how you got there at all. Because you're in the player character, right? Even Mitra is lost and confused due to the crash and the drugs and all that stuff. And so you can affect change throughout, but the place is doomed from the outset. I mean, but the way that it's doomed can vary, because you, at the end, when you're escaping, you can blow up the asteroids and destroy the whole facility yourself, or you can just try and get away, and Scion? Yeah, Scion's cruiser can blow up the asteroids instead. Either way, the place is doomed. Either way, the place was doomed from the outset. Whether you came there or not, it was sort of a powder keg that was there waiting for something to light it. And you, the Jedi who sort of stumbles her way, or ex-Jedi, fine, who stumbles her way through the galaxy, was just the match that set it off, right? And so that is so appropriate and so in the context of KOTOR 2 that it fits very well. It's very well with everything else that goes on, and it affects the narrative spectacularly. The loss of Peragus is one of the tipping points for Telos, for Citadel Station, that we're on our way to, and the Telos Reclamation Project and all that, and why we then have to do a bunch of the other things that we wind up having to do, which wouldn't really be the case were it a had Peragus not been destroyed. They would be getting their fuel shipments, yada yada yada. Excuse me. But yeah, I think that it just fits much better. They're the same kind of relevantly similar, at least hopeless narratives, fated to be destroyed, etc. But the way that they affect their respective stories, Peragus just works way better than Telos, or Taurus. Lady Revan said, I love how it's sort of a mysterious, you have to piece together what happened to you and how you get there kind of vibe. Yeah, the environmental storytelling on Peragus is top-notch. It's the kind of thing that you would expect in a horror game, and it's done really well. And it's not just a horror game, but it's also something you'll find in Fallout. The Fallout series does that same kind of environmental storytelling the same kind of way. But man, Peragus does it really well for just being in a Star Wars RPG that doesn't have those kinds of post-apocalyptic or horror elements to it, at least not usually. Continued, I also like that you get to immediately start out as a Jedi in this game, versus waiting until you get to Dantooine before you can start earning Force powers. Yes, that's a nice relief. Even though, again, it doesn't make the same kind of narrative sense either, because you're supposed to be cut off from the Force. It would make sense that you have to clear some obstacles before that, before you start gaining Force powers, but whatever. I mean, it's much better from a gameplay standpoint, even if that's a little bit weird story-wise. That said, they kind of inverted it, where in the previous game you get your lightsaber as soon as you start becoming a Jedi, as soon as you get your Jedi class. Whereas in this one, it takes a very long time to actually get access to a lightsaber. It takes an annoyingly long time. The soonest you can do it is Nar Shaddaa. So you gotta go through Peragus, Citadel Station, Telos proper. Then, if you go to Nar Shaddaa first, then you can rush through everything to get your lightsaber components and build your lightsaber. That's the earliest you can do it. And guess what order we're going to be doing things? We're getting a lightsaber as soon as we can, because they also made it significantly more powerful in this game than it was in the last one. There. But man, that is a little bit irritating about this one. I mean, it's cool that it's a big accomplishment. It takes a while to get it, and so it feels significant once you do, but still, it's irritating having to go through like the first third, at least, of the game using a sword. Maybe a blaster, but a sword for the most part. It's kind of irritating, honestly. Yeah. I think I will say, I think overall, I think I like the first one better, at least for its story. and probably for its characters. But the gameplay is a step up in this one, a radical step up, and it has its own storytelling merits as well, that we're going to gradually be talking about, of course. That isn't to say this game is bad in any way. It's just that I think that the first one is really a masterpiece that is hard to top. Very hard to top. So who voice printed the astrogations?
I have no idea. Previous owner, maybe?
Yeah, that's true.
Love to get it overhauled, but that's a major job. Besides, the droid will be good enough for now.
Okay. That's it. Alright, just stick to piloting then.
So, what happened?
Huh? What are you talking about?
Don't give me that. There were plenty of times back on Paragus where a lightsaber would have been helpful. So where's yours?
Speaking of which... Yeah, speaking of which, and like Lady Revan said, at least it makes you super grateful when you finally have the saber. It sure does. And like I said, especially because it is markedly more powerful. As far as, I mean, at least I think so. It feels like it is, than it was in the previous game. Exiles aren't allowed to keep their lightsabers.
Oh yeah? I thought a Jedi was supposed to be married to their lightsaber. Guess I heard wrong. Were you a single hilt or one of those double-bladed Jedi?
Ooh, this becomes important. Do I want to do double-bladed? Because that will determine what feats we take as well. Whether we have to take dual-wielding feats if we're going to go with a double-bladed. I usually go a single hilt lightsaber in most of these games, just because of feat progression mostly. Yeah, I'm gonna go with single hilt. I know. I think if I remember correctly, oh, man, yeah, double blade. You think the feat progression for it is just such a pain because you have to sink 3 feats into dual wielding to make it even the least bit competent. Otherwise, you have massive penalties to attack. I don't know if I can afford that. I'm focusing more on... Well, I'm a Sentinel. I get feats decently enough. Well, that's the other thing, too. As a Jedi Sentinel, I don't have the same feat progression as I would with a Guardian. Or a Guardian, I would have the feat progression to be able to do it. But as a Sentinel, I don't know if I can afford it. Especially with the other kinds of stuff I would want to take. Because I want to take lightsaber weapon finesse, so I can use dexterity with it. Because my dexterity is way higher than strength. And then Jedi defense and that sort of thing, and then focusing on force powers primarily. I think I have to go single hilt. I mean, yes, I also am aware I'm trying to play this as close to the sort of canon Mitra Surik Jedi Exile as possible. And I know that canon-wise Mitra Surik uses double-bladed yellow or white lightsaber. One of the odd colors. But at the same time, just from a mechanical standpoint, I think a single might have to be better. I'm gonna go with single hilt, at least for this. That said, if we ever, I mean, it doesn't matter right away, but if ever we want to reconstruct a double-bladed lightsaber, we can. There's nothing stopping us from doing it.
Huh. Figures. It wasn't red, was it?
Ha 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 ha. Both the blade and crystal were unique. Let's go with that.
Yeah? Unique how?
Violet, orange, viridian. Yeah, whatever's best for the gameplay. Yeah, I mean, the gameplay thing is kind of the... As much as I like double-bladed lightsabers, and I really do, the system, because it's based on like D&D 3rd edition and 3.5, it does not make dual wielding very effective, unfortunately, and that's always disappointing. And like similarly, when I played KOTOR 1, I played Revan as having one lightsaber, even though in basically every canon depiction we have Revan with a purple and a red, 2 lightsabers all the time. But Man, it's rough. It is rough from a gameplay standpoint. It's even rougher in this game because there's more feats to choose from. They've added a bunch of extra feats. I'm gonna go with Viridian because I want to be a special snowflake. Because Mitra Surik is kind of a special snowflake. She's a little bit of a, the term's overused, but she's a little bit of a Mary Sue from time to time. But at the same time, she's also just not immediately liked by everyone she meets, despite the specific force power that makes that kind of happen. So, yeah, let's go for Viridian. It's a cool color anyway.
Must have been something. Sure be nice to have it now. Might make those Sith think twice before coming after us.
Oh, Lady Revan says, I've had a Guardian with high strength that was an absolute powerhouse with a double-bladed lightsaber. Oh, yeah. Yeah. That's one of the... Because that's the thing, too, is I usually play most Star Wars games. I lean into force powers more than weapons. Right? And so it's sinking a bunch of precious, RPG resources into being able to hit really hard with the saber means that I'm not going to be able to do my other stuff as effectively, which is suboptimal, Sadly. Even though, God, I know, even though saber staffs are just cool, just really cool. It's really one of the only sort of gimmicky lightsabers that's actually a significant improvement over the single blade one. I think having it would just drive them to hunt me harder.
Alright, forget I said anything. Like I said before,
Sure,
you can check our course
sure.
in the galaxy map if you want. It's on the wall behind you.
In front of me, technically, but yes, thank you. Aragus? Climate? None. I love that. Citadel Station. Yeah, space station, docking the landing zone. Oh, yeah. Yeah, Lee Revan says, it also feels like the game sort of taunts you with the absence of your lightsaber by making you talk about it, and then have Atris wave it in your face later. Oh, yes. Yes, it very literally does, and I kind of like that. I kind of think that's funny. That's a good, there's that lab station. Do I have stuff I can make? Use it. Yeah, I do think that is, without a doubt, that's part of what's going on. Let's break down one of these. Like it's very clearly, it's very clearly kind of dangling it in front of you. Both Atris doing it, and then how much you talk about the thing and how much they set it up as this big goal, this achievement, this thing that you're going to be striving for, and I think it delivers, right? I think it really does deliver on being such a big deal, right? That it makes this a really significant difference in the game, both the story progression and the I mean, just mechanically, even. It makes a huge difference. And so, I get it. I get why the game does it. Both just from a practical, like, make you really want it standpoint, and then also yes, you're an exile. You should feel like a Jedi exile, because that's who you are, and you were kicked out by the Jedi, and it actually kind of... The game expects you to be resentful of the Jedi Order, the Jedi Council, who exiled you. I generally don't play it that way, because I don't think that quite makes sense. If you were a trained Jedi, even if you followed Revan in the Mandalorian Wars, that doesn't mean you're dark. It doesn't mean you're on to the dark side. Hey, Bublin, welcome. Actually, this is very relevant to your question. Bublin asked, what kind of character are you doing for this playthrough? I'm going as close as possible to the canon Mitra Surik again, like I did with Revan, more or less. And that means rebuilding the Jedi Order whenever possible. For the most part, light side. And I'm trying to think of what other specific decisions matter for that. Generally light side. Having turned away from the Jedi, but now gradually turning back. That's the idea. Oh, now that's a very interesting question. Um, Lady Revan said, I feel like all the build up for the lightsaber does is make it when you get it makes it super satisfying when you get it. Yes, I finally got it kind of feeling. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, and it does a great job at that. But like I said, I think it's at least in part meant to get you more comfortable resenting the Jedi Council that took it away from you. And I usually don't play it that way, and I don't think I'm really going to this time either. Because, I mean, Mitra kind of understands why. Especially after the deaths on Malachor and all that. The stuff we find out gradually. Would have said dark side, best side if you're said. Both are interesting storylines. It's just that they don't, like, the games don't jive well together, and nor do they jive well with the stories that come later, because the devs actually choose a canon ending, the kind of thing that they were terrified to do later on with Mass Effect. Right, the Mass Effect series, they were terrified to choose anything like a canon ending to move forward, which is how we got the red green blue debacle, and why the sequel was Andromeda, which just hex off to another galaxy, so we didn't have to deal with the repercussions of the storytelling. Revan says, what I also like about the beginning of the game, when you start out in Paragus, is it makes you earn your weapons and equipment. Yeah. Some of them even crafting your weapons and equipment, which is a really good starting point. Really good starting point. You're running through most of Paragus in a miner's uniform. That feels very... I mean, for the first time you're running around in your underwear for at least the first 15-20 minutes, or for me maybe a half an hour of the game. Then you get clothes at all, and then gradually you get better stuff and craft better stuff. It really does a good job, this game does, of starting you off basically with nothing, and you have to scramble to get everything that you get. So Bublin asks if there's an easy way to summarize it. What's the story in this game? It's a follow-up after the victory of KOTOR 1. Things start sort of falling apart because the Republic was significantly weakened, and there was no really stabilizing force in the galaxy. Everything is in the process of collapsing. The Jedi are basically extinct after the first Great Jedi Purge. There are very few of them left. You're in exile. You're the main player character here, Mitra Surik, is the Jedi exile. She was exiled from the Jedi and cut off from the Force, perhaps cut herself off from the Force or something. At the end of the Mandalorian Wars, after following Revan. And she's been out of contact with everybody since then, so she is kind of out of touch from the events of the first game. And so now, the big deal is trying to deal with the remaining Sith who are hunting down the remaining Jedi, while we, try not to watch the galaxy fall apart. That's how I would summarize it. I'm missing things. I mean, I'm sure I'm missing things. I'm probably missing some things you might think are really important. But that's kind of how I see the core thrust of the game's story. So hopefully that's a good summary. Gets us going. Lady Revan says, not to mention it also makes you wait a while before you finally have companions in your party. Yeah, it's actually quite a while until even Atten joins, and him only temporarily. And then he leaves, and then he comes back. Then T3 is with you, then he leaves, and then he comes back, and same with Kreia. The whole thing. Alright, so let's finally go to Citadel Station. Now that we spent a half an hour talking on the ship. And now, they drew a lot of inspiration from this for that sort of ring world thing in I almost said The Mandalorian. In the Mandalorian episode of the Book of Boba Fett. Which was honestly kind of the only good episode of that show, and even then, parts of that were less than great.
Attention, this is Citadel Station Bay Control, Dock Module 126. Please remain where you are. Lieutenant Dahlgren will arrive shortly to meet you. That is all.
I don't like the sound of that. If they think we caused the explosion... Uh-oh. Here comes the welcoming party.
Yeah, here we
go. They may not know what happened, so don't blow it.
I'm Lieutenant Gren. Telos Security Force. I'm under orders to take you into custody in regards to the destruction of the Paragas mining facility.
Sounds like they know. So yeah, Lady Revan's summary, that's pretty good too. In a nutshell, you're an exiled Jedi who's slowly regaining your Force powers, and finding the last remaining Jedi to stand against the Sith threat. Yeah, something like that. Yes, the destroyed planet that we are orbiting, and now trying, like, there's a big process trying to rebuild. Yeah, this is Karth's homeworld, Karth from the last game. This was destroyed almost utterly. Like, this entire surface was basically glassed during the Mandalorian Wars by the Mandalorians, if I recall. And so now, after the fact, the Republic has partnered with the Ithorians to try and rebuild as much of it as they can, restore the planet's environments and restore the surface, yada yada yada, that whole thing, which is very cool. A really interesting conflict that is not just outright war like a lot of the stuff in the last game. I like it. We didn't have anything to do with that.
That as it may be, the circumstances of your arrival are suspect at best.
That's
Due to
true.
the nature of the investigation, I have no specific timetable to offer you. In the meantime, your ship and any droids will have to be given over for safekeeping. Yes, that includes you. You are a droid, so you will be detained. In
was
addition,
bombed by
we will have to
Malak?
take your
Was it?
personal arms and armor until the completion of our inquiry.
Was it bombed by Malak? Or was it bombed by the Mandalorians? I could have sworn it was bombed by the Mandalorians, but you could be right. You might be right. Oh, yeah. Okay, you're right. I think you're right. Because that's why Karth was initially mad at Revan after the big reveal. Okay, that makes sense. Going to smack the Sith 2,000 years into the future. Well, bad luck for you, Bublin. That still doesn't get them even past... No, that does get them past Bane. So they'll be in Rule of Two stage in 2,000 years. Oh, man. Yeah, poor T3 gets locked up and put in a closet somewhere, presumably. Hey, look, somebody walking around outside in a spacesuit. Will I be able to get my gear back?
If you are cleared of any involvement, your personal effects will be returned to you. You will be held
Shit.
briefly in the TSF station until living quarters can be arranged, at which point you will be placed under house arrest. Do you understand?
No, why are you holding us?
Because this vessel and its passengers are connected with the destruction of a fuel mining facility, one that this station depends upon. We would like to find out the extent of your involvement.
I understand. All right, I'll cooperate.
Good. My men will relieve you of any arms and armor. Please follow me.
Tell me I'm not going to jail again.
You're going to jail again. Who is that? And why does no one notice her on the security cameras? Now, was that Atris or Handmaiden? I think that's Handmaiden, right?
You will be held here briefly. Living quarters are being arranged for you and your companions as we speak. Someone will return shortly to escort you to an apartment in residential module 082.
Oh, yeah. Evan says you went through so much work to get your gear, and then the game takes it away. Again? Yeah, it's, there's a big element in this game of like one step forward, two steps back. Over and over and over again. There's kind of defeatism present here, which, given the other game we're concurrently playing on Thursday nights, Dragon Age Inquisition, it's almost the opposite. This one, it seems like everything is aligned against you, and that you're scrapping for every moment of victory that you can possibly find. Whereas in Dragon Age Inquisition, at least the main story, it's maybe a little bit less so in this case, Trespasser, but throughout the main story, it really feels like you're destined to win, and that everything is conspiring in your favor as the Inquisitor, as the Herald of Andraste, and all that, which is a cool contrast, really. And I really think that they do a great job in that game, especially, of setting things up so that you feel like you feel like you are, you're the servant of God, right? That the Maker is on your side. Where it's here, it's, man, the force is out of whack. Everything's off balance. Everything is wrong, and that while you're trying to set things right and fix things, everything's stacked up against you, which is cool. It's well done, and a lot of that is like none of that's spelled out. It's not just that Freya says, "Well, obviously, the Force and its evil will is doing terrible things to us." It's not. It's really more that the events of the game just sort of tell this to you without it telling it to you. Unfortunately, the dark side would probably have to take this bullying too. Yeah. If this is a Bethesda game, we could choose violence at every turn while constantly declaring we're on the light side. Yeah. There's a weirdness about that. I mean, there's such a thing as justified violence, and so that's reasonable. Whereas in this one, it's not that all of the non-violent solutions are light side and all the violent solutions are dark side, because there's definitely violence on both sides of the issue. It's more about what you are striving for. And I think that as much as I criticize Kreia, her point that her go-to statement of apathy is death is it really rings true here, because you're going to strive for something, one direction or the other, towards the light or towards the dark. And just sort of sitting, just letting things happen, is not an option. And the game really just presents that to you, that it's not an option. You're doing some things. You got to do something, and the decision is up to you as to what that something is going to turn out to be. Wait, I had some questions.
I've many matters to tend to. Your questions will have to wait.
Okay. Great.
Well, we might be here for a while. Might as well get comfortable.
He started to be an unstoppable object, but we're in a cell. Oh, yeah.
Someone is coming. So this is the last of the Jedi. I must admit, I'm a little disappointed.
Before we get into a fight with a fake guard, point on this. There's the other aspect of this as well. Because in some cases the game forces you to wait, right, and not be able to do things, even though you are attempting to. You're striving to do things, and that, I think, is that brings up the sort of Jedi virtue of serenity. Because it's similar to the Christian virtue of apatheia. I think the Latin is apatheia, which doesn't translate to apathy as we would use it. It's more like centeredness. The best metaphor for this would be the wheel of fate, right? So if you're at the edge of the wheel, sort of wheel of fate, which is the common medieval symbolism, then sometimes you're going to be up at the top, then you're going to be falling, and then you're going to be at the bottom. And eventually you'll rise back up and get to the top, right? It's the Stoic idea of this too shall pass. That whatever is happening, it will come to an end, and it will move on to a next stage. The difference there is if you are centered, you have this sort of serenity to yourself, then what you're doing is you are neutral to those things that are happening around you. You have a will, you are still willing the good, and you are still striving to do the good. But it's the element, again, this is common to Stoicism. There's this element of understanding that those things which happen around you are not under your control. They will happen. And so you can be satisfied with whatever occurs, because you are sort of at the center of things, and you're pushing things forward, but not trying to control things that will not be controlled. Because if you're trying to control something that will not ultimately be controlled, you will ultimately be disappointed. And this is one of the key insights of the Stoics as well. And this is the Stoics call this indifference. Everything that is not justice should be willed as an indifferent. What Epictetus, one of the early Stoics, called neutral indifferent, or a positive or a negative indifferent, are things that you either don't care about at all, or things that you pursue, positive indifference, but that will not disappoint you if you fail. Or negative indifference, which are things that you will avoid, but will not disappoint you if they happen anyway. And he says that everything that you cannot directly and immediately control should be an indifferent. The only thing that you should strive for is justice. That is, for the Stoics, living in harmony with the universe, living in harmony with reality. Living in an appropriate way, given the world and given your station in it. And I think that that striking that balance between pursuing justice, pursuing the good, pursuing balance, pursuing accord with the cosmos, the Force, right, the light side of the Force, while also allowing what may to come, is one of the hardest paths to tread for the Jedi. But it's also something that's been explored by real-world philosophy since we've been doing and thinking about philosophy, ethics, and behavior, and all that stuff. And so I think it's really well handled in this game, especially because, I mean, like Lady Revan said, it throws you into kind of survival mode throughout most of the points in the storyline. Like, you're constantly both struggling to get anything accomplished. Also, the game kind of forces you to be able to accept these things happening, because you can't otherwise. There's no way out of this situation, right? There's no alternative. There's nothing else you could have done but get yourself into this situation. And so accepting it is necessary to overcoming it and to moving past it. And so this is that I'm sorry, I just saw something. Says, I wonder if the next generation of that energy cell technology will have less graininess and ripples, maybe in different shapes. Yes, if I recall. Yeah, because this is, to be fair, I'm sorry, I've kept you on this screen for so long. That is terribly distracting. But a lot of it is really thematic to this game, and really, really interesting to my own separate philosophical interests as well. So let's see. You know what? Let's just go with it. What's going on?
The exchange has a bounty on Jedi, you know. You're worth quite a bit of money.
The exchange, huh? I'm pretty sure some two-bit pistol jockey like yourself isn't one of them.
Hey? I'm more than skilled enough to work for the exchange.
You bounty hunters couldn't even win a fair fight. You're the cheapest, most worthless mercenary scum in the galaxy. I'd hire a Mandalorian over your filth in a second.
No Mandalorian could match my skills. No Mandalorian could have been clever enough to infiltrate this station, taken the identity of one of the guards, then...
Then what? Overloaded our force cage fields and made it look like an accident? You probably don't even have the guts to fight me. Pathetic.
Don't think overloading your cages had not occurred to me. You're wanted alive, but I doubt anyone will care as long as I bring them your corpse.
So, why'd you have to give him that idea, first of all? Second, though, how did someone with this sinister of a voice manage to get into a position of power? Even lying his way into a position of power. He sounds evil. This is like Gollum trying to buy property in the Shire. We're in a TSF station. How do you expect to get away with this?
The security cameras have mysteriously shorted out. There will be no witnesses to your escape attempt, during which I'll have been forced to kill you. By the time the TSF realize I'm not one of them, I will be far from this place.
Let's get this over with. I don't wish to fight you.
Easier for me, then. Come, Jedi. It is time to die.
Hey, leave her alone. You want to fight?
Then try me, if you've got the guts.
You have goaded me once, and you shall not do so twice. But I shall dispose of all of you eventually. And an old woman, a fool, and a broken Jedi are no match to my skills.
That's not true, but okay. Let's level everybody up real quick before we fight this guy. Dex. Skills? What's it gonna recommend? Yeah, no, that's fine. Yeah, no, that's fine. Lady Revan says, what's cool is that your character, who's well-known, is treated as a well-known, highly sought-after individual throughout the game. From having a bounty on you, different factions asking for your allegiance, being referred to as the famous exiled. Yeah, that is actually really cool, which is, again, kind of the opposite of the previous game, where if you're... Because you're playing as Revan, there is this... there is this thing about being famous and well-known throughout the galaxy. And that's there, but it's under the surface. Because it's not you that's recognized, it's the mask. It's Revan as Revan. And you're not being Revan. You're just being some guy. Right? And so that's an interesting setup. Where there's still this kind of... recognition, but only if you know what's going on. What's it gonna recommend me? Stealth run, huh? Yeah, sure. That's fine. Except... Rhea, what you got? What have you got? Really? Repair, huh? Awareness. There. What's it gonna recommend? Force Scream, really? I don't know about that. Or... Fuck. Speed. No, that's actually probably good. Or Scream is probably fine. Seems appropriate. Level up again. Yeah, Force Scream is pretty cool. So, yeah, I'm gonna go with it. Go. You're not going to be using stealth very much, so I don't really need to. Destroy Droid could do. Can't do Force Lightning yet. Proof Scream I can't do. Stun? Heal. Oh, what's it going to recommend? Deflection. Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, that's a good idea. She doesn't have a lightsaber and won't for a while. Okay. I also like Battle Meditation, Revan says, especially since you get to use it on the Onderon soldiers when you reach the throne room. Ooh, that's actually a good point, isn't it? Let me see. Force Push. Just do a bunch of critical hits. Horror! Scream.
I hear you.
Punch before any of that? Okay.
The security cameras...
That's terrifying.
What's going on here?
Man down! Quick! Call a medic!
All right, Jedi. I want you to back up slowly. Hands in front of you. Into the force cage. Cooperate, and we won't have to gun you down.
Come on, Lieutenant. They've already killed... who is that? Is that Batu Rem?
Wait, Batu Rem? That's... Sounds super familiar, and it's annoying me. Is that really just from this, or is that from something else too? Yeah, he died from Krea's Force Scream. Heck yeah, he did. No, he was an assassin. It's a good thing I didn't have to depend on you for protection.
Rem's no assassin.
Batu Rem is on leave. He shouldn't even be on the station. This man isn't him.
I'm glad someone noticed that only after he tried to kill me.
We've arranged for an apartment in residential module 082. You'll stay there under house arrest until our investigation of the Paragus matter is complete. You'll be under TSF protection. I'll personally clear any visitors to your quarters, and we'll investigate this incident to the best of our ability.
All right, let's go.
Officer, get Lieutenant Yima a report of this incident. She'll look into this. The rest of you come with me. We'll escort you to the apartment in 082 immediately.
I like the Star Wars-y aesthetics. Like, the helmets are very clearly inspired off of Rebel helmets.
These
Or
will
vice
serve as
versa,
your
I
quarters
guess.
for the duration of your house arrest. 2 officers will be stationed outside at all times. Again, I'll clear any visitors. There won't be another incident.
But just to be on the safe side, why don't you leave us a blaster or two?
Please? Like, that would be really helpful. Like Lady Revan said, don't have a lot of confidence in TSF protection. No, not after the last time. How long will I be here?
I can't say. We have a ship examining what's left of the Paragus facility now, so your stay might be brief. We'll keep you informed.
Now, this is a step up from a force cage, at least.
If there are any problems, we'll use the wall terminal to contact you. Let's go.
Oh, this is the restored content mod. I don't really play it without it anymore.
This isn't good.
Oh, wait a minute.
We've got to get off this station.
Yeah, we do, but hold on. In part just because the game is so buggy without it, and things are just genuinely missing, just because of the, we all know the issues, the rush development and all that. But I was actually like genuinely debating whether to play the restored content mod with the what's the droid planet called, with or without that. And because really, man, that droid planet just drags. And I made the terrible mistake the last time I played this game through this with the restored content mod. I made the terrible mistake of playing through that first section where you have to play as one of your droid companions, playing through that as T3. So all of the dialogue was beep beep boop beep 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 whoop beep beep beep, and those were my dialogue options, which was hell. And that was probably a solid 20 or 30 minutes. Actually, it might have been longer than that. It's a big section where you're playing as one of your droid companions. And man, don't pick T3. I'm not going to pick T3. I'm going to do damn near everything I can to get HK up and operational before that point, so we can play as the snarky assassin droid. Oh, that was awful. I mean, all else fails, we'll have Goto by that point. All right, Hatton, why do we need to leave?
What do you think the TSF is going to find at Paragus? That could bring the Sith... You know what? Forget it. As long as we're trapped here, it doesn't matter.
What do you think, Rhea?
We cannot stay in any one place too long, but our path has brought us here for a reason. I must meditate on this. In the meantime, we should
It's a good
rest.
opportunity, yes.
Yeah, you go ahead and
become
meditate.
fluent in droid.
As for me, I could use some sleep.
Yeah, I mean, you know what they say about language learning? That the best way to do it is just to immerse yourself in a situation where you have no other alternative than to learn it. You know, I used to speak fluent Spanish, but I guarantee you, if you dropped me in the dead center of any Spanish-speaking country where there's no real alternative and I couldn't get by using English, I'd remember real quick. I mean, for that matter, if you dropped me in any sort of Latin-based language country, I could probably figure my way out. Being passable still in Spanish and being able to read more or less fluent Latin, I can do fine in Italy or Portugal or maybe Brazil. That kind of thing. I can do okay. Again, by necessity, because and that's it. That is actually a weirdly real experience that I was able to kind of figure out what the dialogue options were supposed to be, even for T3, where it was literally just spelled out beep beep whoop beep and stuff like that. And I was like, okay, well that's got to be the positive answer, right? You can figure it out. It's just not easy and not fun, like at all. Let's rest. This section is so hilariously irritating. Yes, I'm napping and I get a phone call. Yay, a phone call. Let's see what's up. Anything for me to loot? Okay.
Excuse me, you have a caller. Moza, representing the Ithorian planet restoration interests on Telos. Lieutenant Gren's cleared him if you'd like to speak with him.
Yes. Please send him in. Oh, Lady Revan says, I also love that you have a mentor figure in Kreia, and then you in turn pass on what Kreia teaches you to the companions. That is with the restored content mod. Yeah. That's a big difference. It's a good dynamic of getting to enjoy being both student and teacher. Yeah, and pass on what you learn and then do so selectively, too. Right? Because you can just completely subvert Kreia's subversive teachings and just teach hardline Jedi. Or you can sort of take parts from what Kreia has to say, parts from what you know of the Jedi teachings, and then make some kind of a synthesis. Or you can just go full on. Here is the new ideas for the new Jedi, and go with Kreia, right? Who is, basically Sith teachings, more or less. It's a cool dynamic, and it's also a cool way of presenting a kind of choice of who you are and who you're going to be, and how you're going to shape the galaxy moving forward. And I also really, really very glad that they took the restored content mod thing where your companions could become Jedi and learn from you and all that, and they made that the canon ending. They made it canon that, I guess, minor spoiler, that your Jedi companions become the new Jedi Council moving forward, and that's eventually where we get to. That's eventually where we get all the way to SOTOR, where in the Old Republic, the MMO, where the Jedi are flourishing again. They were on Coruscant until the sacking of Coruscant at the Great Galactic War, yada yada, and then moved back to Tython, and there was a whole thing. But all of that follows from this very specifically. All right, send in the Ithorian.
Very well. I'll let him in now.
I'm gonna have to do some translating here, I assume, because he's gonna be talking. Thank you for seeing me. I'm Moza. I've come to see you on behalf of Chodo Habat, our leader here. What does Chodo want with me? Are you familiar with the restoration project in Telos? No, could you explain it to me? The surface of Telos was destroyed during the Jedi Civil War. Yeah, there we go. A few years ago. This Citadel Station is part of the Republic's efforts to rebuild. Citadel Station uses energy fields to seal off portions of the planet's surface, then generates and controls ecosystems. Once the weather in a zone is stabilized, new animal and plant life is introduced to restore the ecosystem. Recently, however, we've run into contention with the corporation known as Zerka. Perhaps you've heard of our recent troubles? Wow, he talks fast. I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to speed up my talking. But you get the idea. Hopefully. Or hopefully you were able to follow along better than I was. No! What troubles have you had? Ithorians are well known as ecologists and agricultural engineers. The Telosian government asked those of my herd to help restore their planet. Things went smoothly at first. The Republic funded us generously, hoping Telos would be a model for the restoration of planets damaged by the war. The funding enabled us to purchase flora and fauna from Onderon. Upgrades to Citadel Station's shield network has allowed us to purify and reseed small portions of the surface. Then the troubles began. Republic relations with Onderon began to deteriorate, increasing the purchase and transport costs of our biological materials. Zerka approached the Republic and offered to supply security contracts. Their paramilitary security division now polices the system. Zerka has integrated themselves into the Telosian political system and economy. They are currently pressing to be awarded our planet restoration contracts. Their efforts hinder our cause greatly and will have terrible consequences for the planet's restoration. He speaks too fast. Maybe I should give up on trying to translate aliens. You think you guys can read? Is the audience reading subtitles fine? Or yeah, anyway. How is Zerka harming the restoration project? Zerka recently wrested control of a number of restoration zones on the planet's surface from us. These zones began to deteriorate within weeks. If this continues, the restoration process will be brought to a halt and the Republic will not be willing to continue the funding needed to reconstruct it. Telos will remain dead forever. Okay, wow, that was it. Okay, I got through that one quick enough. Why would Zerka do this? I wonder that myself. What does one of the largest weapons manufacturers in the galaxy want with a planet restoration contract? Perhaps they seek unrestricted access to Telos' surface, which is normally forbidden. Even we can land only on our established landing sites. Yeah, now it's time to become fluent in speed talking. Yeah, I'm not good at speed talking. I usually, if you haven't noticed this from any of my previous streams or videos or anything, I usually speak quite slowly and methodically, which is a bit of a problem for this sort of thing. How do they take the restoration zones? Through a combination of legal loopholes, purchased political favors, and strong-arm tactics and sabotage. We Ithorians are simply not prepared to deal with such. We are passive people, and we will only help restore the natural beauty of Telos. So how can I help? Proto Habat is a powerful priest, our spiritual leader. He said something upon your arrival, a disturbance, an echo in the Force. Jodo felt you might be able to aid us. He bid me to tell you that you could help heal Telos. It may be possible for him to heal you. What do you mean? It is unclear as to what Chodo means by this. He says the echo he felt upon your arrival suggests that you yourself are damaged. He can feel the pain through the Force.
Perhaps Chodo Habat should turn his eyes to his own people, if they truly suffer so.
Forgive me, I am unclear as to Chodo's message, and I may have related it incorrectly. If this offer of mutual aid interests you, please go to the Ithorian compound here in Residential 082, when you are able. Chodo Habat would be most pleased to see you. Lady Revan says, what's nice about this game with having choices such as Zerka versus the Ithorians is that you have to work for your light side and dark side by making these choices on each planet. Yeah, and they're genuine choices, and they're major gameplay differences, they're major story differences. Whereas most of the light side, dark side decisions in the previous game were dialogue options. And, do I help the beggar out with his problems or not? Which I know that's a scenario from this game, but you get what I'm saying, right? They're minor little side things, like how are you behaving when you're not doing anything particularly important, which, to be fair, is a major test of ethical integrity. How are you acting when your values aren't being specifically tested by big picture stuff? But at the same time, this one, your major ethical decisions make huge, huge differences. Which again is a little bit contrary to the general view expressed by this game that there is a sort of will to the Force that you have no control over. So, yeah, but still, I do really like the impact that your decisions have throughout this game. Oh yeah, work for your light side, dark side ending. Yeah. And correct me if I'm wrong, there's no gray ending, is there? There's nothing down the middle. Is there? I'm trying to remember. I don't think there's a gray ending, or anything like a gray ending in this game. Which is good. I mean, there shouldn't be. I've talked before about how great the whole concept of gray Jedi is stupid. And, I mean, Kreia kind of agrees with that. The whole concept of gray Jedi is dumb. But at the same time, I would have thought... Oh, excuse me. Even mechanically, it would almost seem like you kind of would have to. Unless it's just like a non-ideal ending. I don't remember. I've never done it. Oh yeah, there is no gray ending. Yeah, I've never had anything but almost completely maxed out light side or dark side points in this game. I think I've only done one dark side playthrough of it. And I've never not tried to max one or the other out. Alright, I'll speak to your leader when I'm freed. This pleases me. Perhaps we will speak later then. Farewell. Bye-bye.
Now perhaps we will be able to rest uninterrupted.
Haha, that's what you think. There are gray Jedi robes that you can wear if you have a neutral alignment. Oh, that's right. I remember that. Which, again, is a little bit silly, but... yeah. Alright, Zerka Corporation.
I am B4D4, Administrative Assistant for Zerka Corporation's Citadel Station branch.
Ah, you speak basic.
I'm attempting to connect you with Executive
That's nice.
Officer Jana Lorso. May I put you through?
What does she want? Really? My number pad doesn't work? Okay.
I am sorry, but I do not know. I am only her administrative assistant. May I put you through?
Yeah, I conquered the Ithorian dialogue. Or now. There's a lot more. A lot more. Yeah, go ahead.
Thank you. I will connect you now. Good day.
Thank you for accepting my call. As my assistant no doubt informed you, I am John Alorso.
Is this where they got Jan Urso's name from? Wait. No, Jan Urso. That was... No, that was slightly... Oh, no, that's right, because she was in Jedi Knight. Right? Dark Forces 2? So, that was... They came first. So, So they use the same, basically, phonemic patterns for naming Star Wars. I mean, that's how you make things sound Star Warsy, is you use the same sort of phonemic combinations. Or at least really similar ones. So, anyway, why are you calling?
I understand that you were approached by an Ithorian earlier. Doubtless he tried to obtain your help, attempting to purchase it with imposed guilt and veiled threats.
I don't recall him threatening me.
Oh, and I suppose he didn't mention the exchange, helping you with any problems here? In other words, the Ithorians won't lead the exchange to you if you work with them.
No, he didn't mention anything like that.
Well, no matter. My apologies. I never intended to waste your time discussing Ithorians.
Mm-hmm. Okay, go on.
I believe you're a person of influence. Someone I'd like on my side, rather than aiding the Ithorians, whose quasi-mysticism and bumbling foolishness is standing in the way of progress and profit. I'm not asking for your help, though. I'm offering you a job. Work for Zerka and be handsomely rewarded. You'd be helping yourself. If you're interested, please visit our offices here in Residential 082. B44 will know what to do when you arrive.
What sort of work are you talking about?
I'd rather discuss that in person. I'll be more than happy to answer any and all questions when you visit our offices.
Oh, they're the Jolie Bindo. Okay. Which is dumb, because he was not grey. He was very much a light side Force user who had walked away from the Jedi Order as an organization or as an institution. I talked about this a lot near the end of the streams of the last game. I talked a lot about how the very concept of Grey Jedi does not fit with how the Force is understood. So it's annoying that he gets listed as a Grey Jedi, even often with Qui-Gon, which that doesn't make any sense at all. Qui-Gon was not Grey; he was absolutely a light-sider. It's just he was unorthodox per the Jedi Council, even per the Jedi Council at the time. So, yes. Anyway, that kind of thing annoys me. All right, I'll come when I can.
Excellent. Good luck with that messy investigation, and I hope to see you shortly.
We should get back to bed. Whenever they decide to release us, we should get going immediately.
Yeah. Whatever she's up to, at least keep them on our side for now. All right.
Explain something to me.
I do not have the years required, nor the desire to indulge you.
If she served in the war, well, Jedi are supposed to be tough, capable.
Yes, and what are they without the Force? Take the greatest Jedi Knight, strip away the Force, and what remains? They rely on it, depend on it more than they know. Watch as one tries to hold a blaster, as they try to hold a lightsaber, and you will see nothing more than a woman, or a man, a child.
But to lose so much, I guess I didn't realize how much they relied on it.
Do not be surprised. In many ways, even you are more capable than a Jedi. You could survive where they could not simply because you do not hear the Force as they do. It is irony of a sort, and it is why I tolerate your presence now.
But such a loss of ability. For a Jedi, it seems so extreme.
She has been gone from war some time. It is conflict that strengthens us, and isolation that weakens us, erodes us. Add to that she turned away from war, did all that she could to forget it, and the last piece clicks into place. But we have spoken enough of this, and we do her a disservice by not speaking of this while she is present.
Yeah, this is a big part of Krea's overall message as well. Jedi rely too heavily
I've come
on
to
the Force.
inform you that the Telosian government has completed its inspection of what's left of the Paragus facility. It appears that the Harbinger had indeed been present, though it was gone when our ships arrived and was responsible for the station's destruction. Logs recovered from the facility's wreckage indicated that the miners perished as a result of sabotage, which began while you and your companions were either incapacitated or incarcerated. As such, you are to be released from house arrest. However, the Republic is sending its own ship. They have insisted that you remain on station for the duration of their search.
Yeah. Lady Revan says, yeah, Jolee felt pretty light-sided when he tries to stop you from turning to the dark side when you picked the dark side ending. Oh, yeah. Yeah. If he were gray, if he were a gray Jedi, he would either, 1, not try to stop you, or 2, also try to stop you at the light side, if you pick the light side ending. Like, really, it seems like the game is very clearly telling you, despite his stats, that he is very much a light-sider. Even if he is, he's much like Mitra here, exiled from the Jedi, and even though his stats say that he's gray, no, he's on the light side, absolutely. Now, the other point here, Kreia brings up that the Jedi learn to rely upon the Force. I mean, yes, yeah, I mean, okay, but only in the same way that, for example, most human beings rely upon their legs, right? Okay, yeah, I mean, to say that, yes, having your legs makes you weak. It gives you something to rely upon so that your arms atrophy. Whereas those like you, those without legs, are so strong in the upper body, having to operate a wheelchair or something. Like, come on, like, no. I mean, it's trivially true that you would develop other skills to compensate for missing out on something, but no, there are things that you in fact develop using the Force. Like, by learning with a lightsaber, you develop a skill at wielding melee weapons that you probably would not have developed otherwise if you're used to using blasters. All things like that, right? You do develop skills, and now if you lose access to the Force completely, you lose a lot of those skills. But come on, that's a lot like saying, yeah, if it's like comparing someone who was born paraplegic and someone who was crippled and becomes paraplegic later in life. Yeah, the person who was born with a certain disability, broadly speaking, right, a certain deficiency of power, using precise philosophical terminology, comparing that to somebody who is used to using their legs and has lost that ability, yeah, the person who is used to compensating for it is going to be better at compensating for it. Obviously. That isn't to say that the Force is a crutch that the Jedi should not lean on. It makes them weak. No, it doesn't. No, it absolutely doesn't. It makes them unbelievably strong because they lean on this. They have this additional ability they're capable of leaning on. And then further, they are mentally and spiritually and ethically incredibly strong in virtue to have this massive amount of power and not fall to the dark side with it, which has an innate draw to it, right? The dark side itself has this kind of temptation to it, like a metaphysical, almost magical or mystical force to it. But then also, beyond that, the corrupting temptation of power, like aside from the actual, mystical nature of the Force, just having the capability to influence other people in the way that the Jedi can, and not using that for evil. Yeah, that speaks to the incredible strength of character of the Jedi. So yeah, no, I think Kreia is utterly, absolutely, and completely wrong about this, unless you mean it in the most trivial sense of yes, you lean on something, and so without that thing that you are used to using, you are weak without it. Well, yeah, but again, you can apply the same thing to literally any power or capability anyone ever has. Anyway, why is the Republic sending a ship?
to further investigate the station's destruction and search for their missing ship, the Harbinger.
How long will I have to stay?
The sojourn is already en route, likely not more than a few standard days. Feel free to use these quarters during your stay.
Is the Ebon Hawk still impounded?
The vessel's IND is complete. Please visit the TSF station and entertainment module 081 to complete the necessary paperwork at the front desk. The Ebon Hawk should be transferred from the impound docks by the time you're free to leave.
What about my T3 droid?
After filling out the paperwork, it'll be transferred with your ship along with your confiscated weapons and armor.
Okay, good, excellent. I hope nothing goes horribly wrong with this process.
We can't just stick around. We need to find a way off the station. Whether it's the Ebon Hawk or some other ship. We could hit Nar Shaddaa, maybe. If you've got people coming after you, it's where you go to get lost in the crowd.
You know that from experience.
Hey, everyone needs to get lost once in a while. Get away from something, you know? It's no big deal.
Why do we need to leave?
Look, this place is a waste. If Telos wasn't doomed before Peragus blew, it is now. Even more so if your friends from Peragus come calling.
Why would Telos be doomed?
Because it depends on Citadel Station, and the Citadel depends on Paragian fuel and the Republic's senators. The Citadel's fuel source went up with the mining facility. And the bickering senators? Not something worth counting on.
What do you think, Rhea?
It is difficult to say. I feel we came to Telos for a reason, but we may have spent too much time here already. Even if the Harbinger was destroyed at Peragus, more Sith could already be on their way. Still, there is a chance we might learn of other Jedi here on the planet's surface. Jedi who might help us restore your abilities or sever the link between us.
Well, what do you think?
I mean, you know there is one, Rhea. Oh, not being coy. Yeah, Lady Revan says, I also feel that the Return of the Jedi ending makes it appear that the Force being in balance is light triumphing over the dark, by having the Chosen One return to the light side when saving Luke. Yeah, and that's explicit. George Lucas has been explicit about that. That's exactly what balance in the Force means. That bringing balance to the Force means the elimination of the dark side, or at least the elimination of those using the dark side. Because the dark side is imbalance. It is a disruption to the proper flow of the Force. I'll find a video on this. There's a few great analyses of this. Some just straight from George Lucas, and some doing further analyses on it. The Force. I'll put a link or two to this in the description after we're done with the stream. I'll also put something in probably under the Philosophy channel in the Discord. Which, by the way, if you're not yet joined our Discord server, you are welcome to join. Link below. But I'll put something in there, both in the description after the fact and also in the Discord about this. That like I said, George Lucas has been explicit about this, and and the best Star Wars writers are as well. That balance in the Force is not equal light and dark. It is the absence of the dark. Because they have something like a proper view of the metaphysical incongruity, or the metaphysical lopsidedness, let's say, of good and evil, or light and dark. But the dark side, as properly understood, is an imbalance. It is the disruption of balance, which is what the light side seeks. Like, the light side seeks and preserves balance, whereas the dark side seeks to take things out of balance for oneself and one's own purposes and goals. And so, what that means, again, ultimately, is that yes, the Force was brought back into balance at the end of Return of the Jedi, with a bunch of asterisks and caveats all over the place, whether you're talking about Legends or new canon. Either way, yeah, I know there are other Sith and there are other dark side influences all over the place, but for the moment, balance was restored. So, anyway, balance was restored at least for the time being. And I mean, if you look at the at least the old Legends continuity of it, at the very least, that the prophecy of the Chosen One was that one will arise to bring balance to the Force. That was more or less in response to Bane, Rule of Two. So that was the state of the Sith around when that prophecy was made, and so it was the destruction of the Sith qua Rule of Two which is what happens at the end of the Return of the Jedi. But now both versions of the canon, both Legends and new Disney canon, have decided that the Emperor coming back is a great development on that point. That was probably the worst storytelling decision in Legends, the whole Dark Empire thing. And then they had to take it, basically just use it for the Rise of Skywalker. Like, it's not enough to come up with things on your own, or it's not enough to just sort of canonize elements from Legends, but they had to canonize like the worst elements of Legends. Anyway. Lady Revan says, it never made it to the game, but that was the plan, which is why there's dialogue that shows the disciple knowing something that could possibly lead to your freedom bond. Yeah, right, and knowing Atris is down there and all that. Which, even in the restored content mod, that's not really there. So, yeah. What are you gonna do? Again, the game was woefully incomplete by the time it was released, unfortunately, and that was, again, due to rushed development and all that. Tragic, really. A lot of great games get hampered by rush development. Dragon Age 2 is another example of that. Dragon Age 2 was a very good game with incredible potential, but was severely hampered by a rush development cycle. Why don't we ask the Republic for help against the Sith?
The Republic? They can't even properly fund and manage a space station, let alone fight an enemy as cunning and ruthless as the Sith. Even if somebody believed us, the Republic won't be any help. Believe me, I know. Only the Jedi threw the Sith back last time around.
He may be right, but whatever we do, we should move quickly.
I mean, unless I'm horribly, terribly mistaken, Bastila is still alive. Okay, nothing. Bastila is at least still around. Pretty sure Karth is. Huh. Let's immediately just start thieving. Oh, okay. Nothing there.
Zerka's mercenaries are getting out of hand, and they're too much for the TSF to handle. We need Republic troops to restore order.
Okay. Alright. Now this is a relatively large overworld area. I kind of like that. Or apartment complex. It's actually, again, a lot of people kind of complain about Citadel Station, that it's kind of cramped and that it's oh, sorry. I told your boss already, I'm getting the credits. You have a good contract with You're not from the exchange. What do you want? Yeah, Bastila helping out would be great. A situation like this where all the Jedi are being wiped out, maybe she could help out. Yeah. Like, what is she doing while all the events of this game are happening? It's never actually made clear. I mean, we know what Revan... Well, we find out eventually what Revan is doing. There's a novel about it. And a lot of it's sort of alluded to by SOTOR. But, like, Bastila is just sort of around as a powerful Jedi right now. Right now. While the Sith are hunting all of the powerful Jedi. And if I'm remembering right, she's on Coruscant most of the time. But, like, doing what? Come on. Especially after seeing what she went through and what she did in the last game, SOTOR 1. You would think that she would be able to help out, but it's another one of those cases where they were. This was a time in gaming where they were very hesitant to have tie-ins to previous games, especially when those previous games were decision-based, and they hadn't come up with the idea yet of transferring one's data files over, and so being able to follow up on what happened last time. Yeah, Lady Revan says Karth appears at the end. if you set Revan to the light side. Bastila appears with Karth if you set Revan on the light side. Male. Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know. She's around. We're actually going to see that, I think, soon. Don't they show up? Not in person, but don't you communicate with them at some point on Telos? Oh, you did. Oh, you did. At least one or the other of them. Maybe not both. Oh, never mind. We already got a communication from Karth when we were on the Harbinger. When he heard about the Ebon Hawk. So that's something. Yeah, I think she's on Coruscant with her son, which, I mean, that's a fair reason, I suppose. Raising a kid is a reason not to go hunting Sith. I mean, that's good enough, I guess, but I'd like to at least, I'd like it for that to at least be acknowledged. But you can't really do that, right? You can't really set that up unless you have sort of decisions carry over from the first game that this game doesn't know if you made without, a save transfer, that kind of thing. And that hadn't been really developed yet. So, yeah, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? That's actually something where if they do wind up finally making that KOTOR remake, that could be a major improvement to a later KOTOR 2 remake, is having save file transfers from the KOTOR 1 remake, so that you could follow up on a lot of that in ways that they hadn't originally. Anyway, what does the exchange want with you? Nothing at all. You need a droid repaired? Because if not, I have much work to do. Nah, never mind. That's fine. Alright. Guess we're not going to deal with that. Locked. Okie dokie. That's it then. I'm not going to break into this one yet because we have no weapons. If we are going to break in somewhere, I'd like to at least be able to defend ourselves if we're going out robbing. Hello. Hi there. Hello there. Who are you? My name is Hara. I'm an employee of the Zerka Corporation. What do you do here? I'm a data processor. It's a thankless job and the pay is poor, but I have no choice but to take it. I'm desperate in need of credits and there's little else for me to do. Not or gamble, but that is what got me into this predicament in the first place. Let me guess, you have a gambling debt you must pay off? You're half right in your guess. I did at one point have a gambling debt, but it was repaid and there is no creditor that looms over me. Then what's the problem? I used Ramana, the girl of my heart, as collateral. I have a weakness for Pizak. You must understand, my hand was unbeatable. There's no way I could lose. You should never wager more than you can afford to lose. Wisdom is lost in the heat of the moment, however. My weakness, I will never play a game of chance again. That is why I'm working day and night, selling my own life to Zerka, that I might buy her back from Doton. But it will take months, maybe years, for me to amass those credits. Doton could take her away from here. Perhaps I could be of assistance. Who would do that for a stranger? Like I said, the amount is not small. Doton Het demands 2,000 credits for her freedom. I think... I'll see what I can do. I'm not going to issue any threats right now. Uli, then I wish you good luck, for no amount of pleading, begging, or otherwise has worked for me. Yeah, I'll see what I can do at least. Well, this is... Lady Revan says if you set Revan to lightside male, you communicate with Karth in person, and then Bastila shows up after you finish talking to Karth. Okay. However, if you set Revan to lightside female, I have no idea what Bastila is doing while everything else in KOTOR 2 is happening. Yeah, you couldn't really factor that in. I usually have played as male, although I did once play as female. I think only once. I don't actually know if I've done a KOTOR 2 playthrough in which I've set Revan to female, though. I think I usually just assume that, like, I make the game assume that Revan was a light side male. I think every time, I think. Could be wrong about that. Well, there's nobody here. Let's see what's in this footlocker. Hey, look, credits.
Hey, what are you doing in my apartment?
Oh. Just looking around.
Looked like you were doing more than just looking.
I'll be going now.
Yeah, you will. Now get out of here before I get the TSF to throw you in jail.
I'll be going now. Sorry for the misunderstanding. Is there going to be another misunderstanding in this room? Probably. Apparently, Lady Revan says, Bastila didn't value Lady Revan's friendship in KOTOR 1 enough to show up at the end of Karth in KOTOR 2. Yeah, you would think. Really would think. I mean, in that case, Revan is not the mother of her child. So, it's less of an immediate a direct connection than it is. Revan is male on light side, where the assumption, of course, is that there was a romance there, and that Revan is the father of Bastila's child, and all that stuff. Hey, look, the Bumani Exchange Corporation. I wonder if this... Oh, and there's an exchange thug outside. I wonder if this could perhaps be the headquarters of the Exchange. Wouldn't that be weird? Actually, wait a minute. Where am I supposed to go exactly? Because I need to... No? Yes. Need... using... Yeah, okay. Ibn Hawk's I and D. Greer told you Ibn Hawk's I and D is complete. You must visit TSF Station in the Entertainment Module 081. Complete the necessary paperwork to get it and the rest of your belongings out of impound. We should do this soon. Oh, Lady Revan says... Oh, right. Oh, if you set Revan to light side female, talking to Karth at the end is even sadder. He basically loses his wife again. Yeah, oh, that's right. That's right. Yeah, so... Falls Batu. Bonus mission. An assassin disguised as Batu Rem. Worth trying to find out who hired him and why. Yes, that is a good idea. Rebuild HK. We need those things. We should do... Okay, we'll do this while we're here. Do the Ithorian thing. Then we'll go and get our stuff. Ithorian compound. What else do we have here? Ooh, mountain. Oh, we're on diplomat.
Hello there, and greetings from Isis and Onderon.
Who are you?
I'm a diplomat from Queen Talia on Onderon. My stay was supposed to have been shorter, but the contract disputes over the restoration project have prolonged it.
Why are you here in the medical wing?
The Ithorians negotiated the export of flora and fauna from Onderon, but with their disagreements with Zerka, the status of our arrangement is in the air.
Interesting. I'll be going. Something else we could deal with eventually. Slice the authentication codes. You might need these. Oh. This. Not these. The lab station. Stations, nothing. Nothing through there. Alright, well, there's nothing to do here as of right now. Although I think there's more later here. Oh yeah? Lady Revan said the voice actor playing Karth did a really good job putting sorrow in Karth's voice for that scene. Oh, yeah. Oh yeah. Raphael Sbarge, the guy who does the voice for Karth, who also... Welcome, how may I help you? Just a second. The guy who does, Raphael Sbarge, who also does the voice for Caden, by the way. And was Pinocchio in the first season of Once Upon a Time. He is very good. He's actually a shockingly good voice actor, especially because, at least initially, both of those major BioWare roles of his, both Karth and then Caden, they have a reputation for being really sort of one note and boring, which I think isn't fair. I think his performance is subtle, but especially later on, he really comes to his own. Both late in the game in KOTOR 1 and now into KOTOR 2 as Darth, and then in Mass Effect 3 for Kaidan. He is one of the most grounded but still emotionally impactful He has one of the most grounded but emotionally impactful performances out of either series. Oh, he was Scorch in Republic Commando? Oh my gosh, he was. I'd forgot about that. Yeah, he was. Okay, yeah. Has he done other Star Wars games? I'm trying to remember. I think those are the two, this one and Scorch. Were only Star Wars roles, I think. He's also one of those actors who, when he does voice work, the characters he voices look nothing at all like him. Like, could not be more different. I mean, Carth and Kaidan look really similar, but neither of them bears even a passing resemblance to Raphael himself. Nothing at all. Like, when I first saw him on screen, and that voice came out of the voice I knew very well from these games, came out of his mouth, I was shocked. Shocked, I tell you. And what's the other example of that? Of the somebody who looks nothing like the characters they usually voice is oh gosh, what's his name? The guy who does the voice for Archer, and Bob from Bob's Burgers. That guy. He looks nothing even slightly like either of them. Oh gosh, I can't remember his name. He's great. He does great voice work, but it looks nothing like any of the characters. Nothing at all. Yeah, Lady Revan says, I like Carth too. He also has a good relationship with Lady Revan, where he teases her a lot. Sort of like what male Revan does for Bastila in their romance. Yes, that's a very tried and true formula that I think BioWare does quite well. I mean, they do the same thing with in Dragon Age Inquisition. If you're playing a male Inquisitor with Cassandra, there's that same kind of that kind of cutesy teasing kind of romance. It's great. It's a good dynamic. I like it. And they do the writing quite well. They do the writing really well. Moses sent me to speak with Chodo Habat. You're the Jedi Moses spoke of. I will open the doors for you now and inform Chodo Habat of your arrival. He will be pleased to see you. Okay, let's go and do a bunch more speed talking to translate for Ithorians. Yay! This time. I need to uncover the whole map, obviously. Bakani plant. Welcome to the restoration project Vivarium. What do you do here? I monitor the growth of the plant specimens collected here. Each of the species found on the planet's surface are represented here. It's important that we observe growth patterns in the controlled environment before large areas are transplanted. Alright, thank you. See you next time. I don't know. I really love the Revan Bastila romance. I think it's really cheesy, but it still manages to be very Star Warsy, but also sweet. I don't know. I like it. I think it's great. Yes, more authority dialogue time. There's Moza, who I talked to last time. What's in here? Oh, nothing. Can't go in there. Let's talk to Moza first, since we did last time. Well, again, Matrix Uruk. How may I be of service? Oh, what do you do here? I primarily serve as Chozo's assistant. My duties became more time-consuming after the loss of our original droid intelligence, but I'm loath to... I'm also our herd's representative when it comes to matters concerning the Telosian Council, Republic representatives, among others. What will you do when your project is completed? It's hard for me to even think that far into the future. I believe that this will consume many of the next years of my life. It is our hope, however, that our restoration of the planet will convince the Republic Senate to allow other herds to seek some of the other war-torn planets in the Outer Rim. Perhaps I would even be placed in charge of a planet of my own that was getting quite far ahead of myself, for now I am occupied completely with Telos. Whew, okay, I need a drink. I'll be going now. Alright, Chodo Habat. Let's talk to him. It gladdens me that you came. I'm Chodo Habat, leader of the Ithorians here. I'm sorry to impose our troubles upon you, but I did not know where to turn until I sensed your arrival. You sensed my arrival? Yes, I am a priest of my people, an adept in the Force. I sensed an echo within the Force upon your arrival. It is a subtle disturbance, used unless one is actively listening for it. I suspected you were one of the remaining Jedi and hoped you could help us. This is why I sent Moses to seek you out. Moses said you could heal me. What does he mean? The echo I felt upon your arrival is not a natural thing. I spoke of a great pain, not of the body, but of the spirit. It is as if you once felt the Force flow through you, then it was torn away, brutally and quickly. The echo comes from the hollows where it once flowed through you. I once felt the Force, yes, and it is slowly returning. It is a most unusual wound you carry. If you would permit me to examine you, perhaps I could restore some of what was lost.
You may be able to help.
I skipped one.
There is always a price, is there not?
Do not mistake me. It is not our desire to see any living thing suffer, but the suffering of Telos is all that consumes us. Tell me, do you know the problems our restoration efforts face? You mean the trouble with Zerka, right? Yes. Our first goal is to get the restoration project moving forward again. The Republic originally provided a droid intelligence to Citadel Station that would help manage the logistics of the project. It vanished some time ago. Was it stolen? The TSF conducted a thorough investigation into the matter and was unable to find the reason for its disappearance. However, they do not believe it was the victim of whoever. At great expense, my herd has acquired a second, somewhat lesser droid intelligence to take place. It will arrive at Citadel Station shortly. The Telosian government has offered a small escort, but I hoped that you might see it safe return with the docks here. Might you aid us in this matter? Yes, I'll see it to you safely. My thanks. I'll send word to my people. It will be awaiting your arrival at Bay 2, Dock Module 126. I'll return with the droid intelligence. Now, I wonder if I can go and recover the original. Can't you? I seem to remember that being a thing, that you could, in fact, recover the original droid intelligence, and that it's, as a surprise to no one, it's in the Zerka compound. Unless I'm mixing that up with something else. I might be mixing that up with something else. That's possible. Nope, not Zerka. Let's not go to Zerka just yet. Here we go. Elevator. For the turbo lift, sorry. Or I guess that's just a hallway. It's not a turbo lift. Wait.
A Republic ship was supposed to have arrived to take control of the situation here. I hope it's not too late.
What's this? Merchant. Wait, what's the other way? What is the other way? I don't want to miss anything. Sealed module, huh? Of course it's locked. It said sealed. I should have believed it. Oh yeah, there's not even a door indicator on the map. Of course it's sealed. Alright, let's see. Merchant. Greetings, my name is Dendis. If you wish to purchase or sell goods, you have come to the right place. Avoid dealing with my brother Sabin. He's unscrupulous and deceitful. I heard that, you mince. Yeah, would you like, ruffian? I do not care. Do you see how he is? Disgusting. Just let me shop. Okay, do I want to filter anything? Let's go with weapon. Check droid oxidizer. Actually, wait, let's go to sell list, because I might actually need to sell something. I have 24,000 credits. I can sell my clothing. Oh, jeez. Alright, weapons. Armor? Matukai Adept Robe, but that's actually pretty cool. I don't have enough credits for any of this stuff, do I? Have I seen the Karth Lady Revan relationship? Yeah, yes, I played through it once. It's good. I do really like it. I still think I like the Karth and Bastila, or not Karth and Bastila, the Revan and Bastila one better. but not like extremely. The one with Karth is well done. It is well done. Jalshay Perception Gloves. That matches my the Jalshay robes, or the armor I have. Miscellaneous. Orange Crystal. Ooh. We'll get that eventually. Bazak card +1. Do they have any plus or minus Bazak cards? Okay, just the pluses, and there's a minus. But... no. Not really. Alright, close. Let's go talk to his sketchy brother, shall we? Welcome. You made the right decision coming to me instead of my brother Dendis. He's not quite grasped the ebb and flow of being a merchant. Nonsense, I simply have principles. This is what I was referring to. Just let me shop, please. Vibro double light. I can't afford that even if I wanted to. Jason Shah Initiate Armor. Light armor proficiency does not restrict force powers. Jason Shah. I can afford that. Defense bonus 4, dex bonus. That might be worth it. I don't know. Unarmed accuracy gloves. Seems silly. Security tunneler. We need those. Yellow crystal. Grenades. No, let's just wait. That'll work. We bought a couple security tunnelers. That's useful. Alright, let's keep it going. Please, I don't want any trouble. It was an accident, I swear.
That didn't look like an accident to me or my associate here. It looked like you wanted to make a fool of him.
We already have a decent amount of money. No, that wasn't the way it was. I didn't mean to disturb your drinking. Allow me to leave you and go on my way. I'll trouble you no longer.
Not even an apology. That won't do at all.
What's going on here?
This Sulluston here had a few things to say about us that we didn't take to so well. We're just trying to work out our differences.
How do you plan on doing that?
The only way that he'll learn. A little physical reinforcement.
I'd like to hear his side of the story. Not like you had a lot of opportunities to earn money struck in Paragas. No, not at all. Oh, thank you. It's very simple. I was at the bar enjoying my drink, and these brutes were here, elbowed their way up to the bar, spilling my beverage all over the two of us. Then he dragged me out here. Look at those two. I know they want to send me home with limbs twisted, bodies battered, and spirit broken. You must help me.
This doesn't have anything to do with you, stranger. Just move right along. Have a drink in the cantina.
I won't. I think you should leave now.
Yeah? Or what? You're gonna teach me a lesson? Go ahead. I hate your kind anyways. Keep your nose in your own business.
What do you mean, my kind? I don't want to fight you.
Then you shouldn't have gotten involved.
Really? You're drawing on me for that? Wait, what? Let's go horror. And then scream at that one. And then shock that one.
Yeah. Time to take you down to size. More where that came from.
Well, thank you, but I was completely helpless. Those mercenaries are too much. I wish something could be done about them. Maybe he hates women? Yeah. Because he hates your kind? I mean, that's possible. My instinct would say Jedi, but we have absolutely no outward indication of being a Jedi, like at all. So maybe it's women. Maybe it's interlopers. Maybe public. Oh yeah, it can't be humans. That's a good point. Because in a lot of cases you might think it's humans, but no, we're both humans. So it's not that. Why are they allowed to do this? The TSF isn't able to do much to keep peace on the station. Zerk's hired too many mercenaries. Even Zerka can't control them. The Republic must do something about this, but it's anyone's guess as to whether or not they will. I assume there's some sort of... You should leave in case their friends come looking for them. To speak the truth, I will stay away from this cantina and things settle down. Please accept this reward. Thank you. I could use them. No, thank you. I'll try and... wow, that was fast. Okay, fine. Credits. 100 credits, alright. And whatever is on their persons. Computer's bag. There, that's it. Alright, level up. Boop, 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 boop. Skills. Right, we got 2 more. Let's go with computer use and security. Okay. Feats. Feats. What's that? Jedi defense? I don't have a lightsaber. So putting points into that right now would be kind of pointless. Get it? Pointless. Anyway. Toughness. I am tempted. My toughness. Oh, actually, yeah, no. Regenerate vitality points. That's the one. That's the one. Yep. Night speed. Because force speed is the most powerful power in this entire game. Bar none. Especially if you're using... Once you start using a lightsaber, the massive bonuses it gives to hit and then extra hits is just fantastic. Unbelievable. Oh, race, huh? Ooh. We should do some swoop racing. Mini games.
Hey there! Care for a game of Pizzak?
Yeah.
Sure thing. Just for fun, or shall we lay some credit down?
Let's play for fun.
Let's have a seat and get to it then.
I don't have a deck, do I? Okay, I do have a deck. Oh wait, hold on. That'll work. Where did I get these cards? Yeah, that's good. Next. Next. Yep. Ooh, tied, alright. But she had to use a card. And try getting battle meditation so you can go Bastel and Andra later. I will. That's on the list. That is definitely on the list. But man, force speed is so powerful. It's next up on the list is Whirlwind, the thing where you lift them up, swirl them around to do damage. Oh, jeez. 19? Stand. When the set. Ooh, good question. So Lady Revan asks, as a character, who do you like better, Revan or the Exile? I think I like Revan better. At the same time, it's very hard to say that, really. Because both of them are so closely tied to player choices, you can really... ooh, nice. You can really make them into whatever characters you want. And so to say that one is just definitively better than the other is a little bit difficult. Ooh, this is risky. Let's go for it. Oh, man. I lost that one. But I think overall, just based on how they act, how they interact, and all that, I think I like Revan better. Oh, man. It's either lose or get lucky. Well, I got lucky. I was very lucky. Ooh, nice. How many cards I could buy? 200 credits, that's worth it. Plus or minus 3, worth it. So -4, worth it. Flip 3 and 6. That I never make good use of the flip cards. I like the plus or minus ones best. I'll get them. Obviously, Pizzazz cards are the highest priority for what I need to be buying. Oh yeah, minus cards are great, but the plus or minus are honestly my favorite. This is by far the best. It's obviously your Swoop Racer. Alright, I'd like to take a practice run. 20 credit fee. How about you let me run the course for free? Alright, sure. Put in some good times. Alright, cool. Free. Now let's see how the course is. Prohibitively sensitive. Oh, jeez. Oh, there is a jump. Should have been using that jump. Okay, alright. Let's go over there. Alright, good thing this is a practice run. This is getting rough. Course. Oh my gosh. All right. What are the... Well, let me see what the record times are. See what I need to beat. What are the track records? Oh my god, the champion's at 41 seconds. Seconds, 44. And then 50. Fourth place is 58. I want to race. 100 credit entry fee. That's a little steep. Be more than enough wagering to cover that. You're probably right. Okay, I'll let you race for free, but you better come through for me. Don't worry. I will. I won't. I'm not going to get under 41 seconds. Oh my god. That is really... Compared to 1 minute 5 this time. Hey, at least now I know what I'm doing. Hopefully it'll be fine. I made second place, I think, right? Second or third? I think it was second. Reasonable time, but not spectacular. Respectable race time of 43. Didn't beat the first place. I race again. What's the prize? Alright, I think I can do it. I'm gonna try one more time. If I can get a better time this time, I'll keep going. But I can beat my 43. Oh, no, I lost it. Oh, I lost it hard. No, alright. I hit right into one of those mines. I'm out. I mean, that was still good enough for, what, third? No, oh well. At least the parts for your ship don't depend on you winning this race. I think the prize is a lot of money. Should I do it again? Should I do it again? I screwed that one up. I hit something. I'm gonna try one more time. Alright, let's try again. I'm pretty sure it is. It's a lot of money. I forget how much, though. Oh, I should save scum? No. Yeah, maybe I should. Too late now. I mean, it's not. Ah, I screwed it up. I'm out. I lost it. If I do it again after this one, which means I'll have to come back to it, then I will save scum, which I lost horribly. I lost horribly. Yeah, next time I come back and race, which will probably be next stream, I will definitely save scum. Maybe I'll come back to this later tonight too. I don't know. But for right now, I'm done. No, not for right now. I'll come back later. Actually, you know what? Give me just 5 minutes, and we'll be right back. I'll let you enjoy the best musical soundtrack in this entire series. I love it. All right, we'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. Should I really try again? I mean, I'll do it for you guys if you really want me to. Anyway, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and do it. What's, hold on, let me... Gameplay. Demapping. What's, quick save, quick load? Game. F4, F5. Quick save, quick load. F4. Quick saved. I'd like to race. Here's 100 credits. Let's go! Now, if I hit anything, I just hit F5 and start over. Quick load. Let's try that again. Want to race? Let's start this over, shall we? Alright, I can do this, guys. I can do this. My first real run, I got second place. So I won't be a broke Jedi anymore. Exactly. Well, that was nice. This is good. This is good. This is good. Ah, man. Missed a couple of boosts. Oh, no! I don't think I'm gonna make it. No, I lost it. Damn it. Okay, I'll finish the race. Yeah, I need to make 4127, which I would have had it if I hadn't hit the stupid mine. Quick load. Let's try again. I want to race. 100 credits. Let's go. 4127. Important to catch some speed ups early on, not so much towards the end. Alright, I'll keep that in mind. That's true, because if you're at max speed, a boost doesn't do very much. But only gives you 500. Oh man, I spent 300. Congratulations, you are the swoop champion of the Citadel Station with a time of 40:98. Oh, okay. Okay, well, that's still really good. Left an obstacle covers the entire field. You don't need to jump over. Passing the side is usually much better. That's true, but there was a couple of them where it was like obstacle and then a mine. So you had to be like way over here and thread the needle. That was a little bit hard. Where's my prize? Oh yes, of course, your prize. Your reward for achieving the best time is 500. Okay. Just 500. Which, I mean, that's okay. That's okay. It's not great. I don't love it.
Ah, so you must be the Jedi everyone's been whispering about. No more trouble with the TSF, I hope?
Why does everyone know this? Why is it that everyone knows this? You should keep out of matters that don't concern you.
Perhaps you don't know who I am?
Can't say that I do.
You haven't been on Citadel Station long, have you? Let me introduce myself. I'm Bennock, the man in charge of Lopak Slusk's protection. You do know who Lopak Slusk is, don't you? The two gentlemen with me are Matu and Nahata, Slusk's finest men. Other than me, of course.
Oh, leave the woman alone, Bennock. I bet she'd come out on top if you fought.
Now,
Your
look,
form
sir,
cruising.
I meant
Okay.
no disrespect. You're probably Slusk's strongest woman.
It's your skin, Bennock. Just warning you, Slusk could easily replace you.
And here we have a Zeltron, dressing in very traditional Zeltron garb. Wait there. Meaning barely anything. I don't want any trouble. I don't even have my armor and weapons. I really don't want any trouble, please.
And I doubt you could cause any. Trading jabs with Luxa is hardly the entertainment I was looking for. Let's go.
That was nice, yeah. I expect and almost want her to have longer hair. Yeah, everybody's been gossiping about the Jedi, apparently. Also, I'm just about finished with this one of my beverages, and this, if you aren't familiar with some of my usual beverages of choice, this is a glass of orange juice with a shot of espresso in it. It is the weirdest thing that has no right to be good at all, but I highly recommend it. It is super weird, but it really works. It works way better than it feels like it should. So, orange juice, espresso. Try it. Either thank me or blame me. Erica hates the fact that this exists. Refuses to even try it. Mostly because she hates coffee, but even still, I think you might like it. That and a Killian's. It's also good. Lady Brevin says probably started with some chatty TSF officers. Oh yeah. Almost certainly, yeah. How's Luxa?
Hello there. Fresh blood at the cantina. Enjoy. Your drinks are on me. We should talk. Later.
Who are you?
If you're asking me that, beautiful, you're better off not knowing. Tell you what.
Hey.
You just enjoy yourself, and if in the future we have business together, you can come back and we'll have a little chat.
I'll be going. I'm used to talking to people who are wearing pants.
Welcome to the Entertainment Module 081 Cantina. How can I assist you?
Oh, Lady Brevin says my beverage of choice is matcha green tea. I was seriously considering having a matcha latte tonight. But I figured that I was thinking of having a matcha latte, basically, realistically, probably instead of a beer. But I gotta get up early tomorrow, and the caffeine is already enough from the espresso shot in there, so especially this late at night. So maybe next time. No, maybe next time. I usually mix it up as far as what I'm drinking. So I tend to generally prefer coffee over tea overall, but I do like tea. I do like matcha. I like a lot of different sorts of tea. Pu'er is actually probably my favorite tea, fermented stuff. Really good. But I like lots of different kinds of tea as well as coffee. So the only one I don't really like is iced coffee. I'm not a fan of iced coffee. Not really. It's a different beverage entirely from coffee proper. What sort of entertainment do you have here?
We feature Citadel Station's most talented all-bit band around the clock, as well as live Twi'lek dancers. You won't find any holograms here. Casual Pazak players should be able to find a friendly match in the game room. Or, if you're a bit more seasoned, we have daily tournaments with some of the best players in the Outer Rim. Cards too slow for you?
I'll come back
Try
to
your
that.
hand at Citadel Station's swoop track and see if you can challenge the all-time records.
Did that.
Last but not least, we feature only the finest cuisine and beverages from Ryloth to Coruscant.
I'll be going. Thank you. Wait a minute. You just said that my beverages were already being paid for by my Luxa over there. So should I just have a drink?
It's always the same story. I don't understand your problem with the Republic. It's not like Onderon hasn't benefited from joining.
It was one of the darkest days in our history. Talia sold Onderon to the Republic, and what did we receive in return?
The James Arnold Taylor.
In exchange for the blood of our soldiers, the prosperity of Iziz has been stripped to decorate dead planets like this.
Look, if it weren't for the Republic, you'd all be speaking Mandalorian by now.
And because we accepted the Republic's aid, we should be indentured to them forever?
You make it sound like the Republic turned Onderon into a prison colony.
Perhaps. Only that the Republic did not even conquer us. Our own betrayed us and allowed the Republic to take what it would.
That sounds a lot like James Arnold Taylor doing his Obi-Wan voice. The green Twi'lek is the girlfriend. Thought so. Corin Fault, Tenosian. Doden Hat is the guy who bought her. Alright, how about
Is there something I can do for you?
What's he do? What can you tell me about Zerka?
What's there to say? We're the only corporation with a branch on Citadel Station. Getting in early, as they say. If this whole Telos thing pans
What
out,
about
we could be
Bobani
in a
Exchange
great
Corp?
position. If Lorso doesn't screw it up, that is.
Tell me about Lorso.
Yeah, Gianna Lorso. That woman's a... Look, forget it. She's my superior, and that's that. She'll screw up soon enough. Then I'll move in for the kill.
I'm not going to accuse him of sexism. I'm going to use him to my advantage. How do you think she'll mess up?
She's got her hands in too many dirty little... Whoa, I think I've had a few too many drinks. I shouldn't be talking to you about this stuff. Just forget it.
I'll be going now. Useful information. Okay, I get paid to dance on top. Alright. Wonderful sight, isn't it? The best of my dances and the best I've seen in many years. I've come on behalf of Hara. Bad one. It must be about a Ramana then. Fine, give me your proposal. Was there something you want in exchange? I'm a man of many possessions. Inanimate objects, they make me little joy. But to see the beauty of dance is a rare treat. Credits? If it must be. The currency of the Republic is such a mundane way for businessmen to remain their deals. But if that's the only way, I would accept no less than 2,000 credits for her. That is a high price. Actually, what happens if I do that? I have 1,500. I could just do this. That's a high price. Perhaps 1,500 would be more within reason. If it's not 2,000, then we have no deal. I cannot afford that price. We'll have to find another way. That's a high price. Let's try the test again. Now, okay. I'll be going. Whatever happens if you accuse him of sexism. I don't know, actually. An interesting point. I wonder if I can talk to him again. Let me try it. I'm curious.
So, you're back.
What can you tell me about Zerka? Same thing.
This whole Telos thing.
Tell me about Lorso. I think you just have a problem with women.
That's not the point. This has nothing to do with whether she's a man, woman, Duros, or droid. She's got her hands in too many dirty little...
Okay, he just denies it. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Alright, let's get out of here. Move right along. Move right along. I would really like to get my stuff back eventually, so let's go and do that. No named NPCs, so no one important to talk to. More non-named NPCs. Wait, this? What's this? Wait, no, I don't want to go in the shuttle. In the entertainment module is where the TSF station is, I think. Let's go there. Yeah, this is it. What's over here? In the corner. Okay, there's nothing in the corner. Got it. Oh, playing Kazakh will save you money? Is it? Okay, maybe I'll try that if I go back and go for it.
Welcome to Entertainment Module 081's TSF station. How may I be of assistance?
That's definitely Tom Kane. The guy who does Admiral Yularen and also Yoda. Clone Wars. Definitely Tom Kane. Lieutenant Gren said to come here to get the Ebon Hawk and the rest of my possessions out of impound.
I will call up the appropriate information now. One moment. Searching. One moment. I regret to inform you that the Ebon Hawk is gone. The TSF believes it was stolen and is currently investigating.
What do you mean, gone?
It seems the Ebon Hawk was transferred to Telos' surface instead of an impound dock. However, both the requester and the point of delivery are unknown. In addition, the vessel is not showing up at any government-sanctioned landing site. I would conjecture that it has been stolen, and the TSF records have been illegally accessed and modified.
I knew it! That stupid T3 unit stole our ship. It's probably joyriding through the system right now, laughing at us, laughing at me.
That is unlikely. While your utility droid is not accounted for, numerous satellites track all incoming and outgoing vessels. There is no record of the Ebon Hawk leaving the system.
Wait, you're saying the ship's actually somewhere on Telos' surface? I don't understand. Telos' atmosphere is highly corrosive outside the shielded restoration zones. Where else could someone land safely?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid that's all the information I have for you. Of course, the quarters in Residential Module 082 will remain yours until the situation is resolved.
Can I get my possessions back at least?
Fortunately, your possessions were kept in the armory and were uncompromised. I will open the door for you so that you may retrieve them. You will find them in the security lockers.
Thanks. Isn't there anything more the TSF can do?
Not beyond investigating the matter and extending our offer of free room and board.
What am I supposed to do now?
I am not qualified to answer that question. However, it is unlikely that someone could steal a starship from under TSF observation without considerable backing. If your vessel has been stolen, There is a fair chance that the exchange possesses relevant information. I do not know what else to suggest, beyond waiting in your quarters for further word.
The exchange possesses relevant information. That means they stole it. You can just say that. Tell me about the exchange.
The exchange is a major intergalactic crime syndicate. They are trying to gain a foothold in the Citadel, most likely seeking to integrate themselves as fully as possible with the new Telos. It is rumored that the Bumani Exchange Corporation, located in residential module 082, is a front for the exchange on Citadel Station.
Going. Huh. That is the least surprising thing that I maybe have ever heard. That the Bumani Exchange Corporation is a front for the exchange. Who ever would have thought? Move, Crya, please. It's gonna take everything. That's a lot of stuff. I really was carrying a lot of stuff, wasn't I? Okay, cool. Let's change out our equipment a lot. Combat suit, Jalse, Neophyte armor, mining shields, energy shield, armband, fortitude for now, regal visor, pheromone package, Taurus survival bonus. All saves +1. Computer list demolitions and security. Okay, good. Guidon beacon. Change negotiator. This is the one I have modified, right? Okay, cool. Let's look for my blaster rifles. Ion rifle, no. Repeating blaster carbine. Heavy mining laser. That's just strictly better. Blaster rifle. Nah, heavy mining laser is the best. Negotiator. Sure. Actually, wait. Should probably have. Jedi robe, I guess. Saves. Survey gear. I don't know, maybe. Let's go with him next. Clothing. Atten's ripped jacket. Energy shield. Shield. Canian blinders. Defense bonus. Immunity, stun, fear, horror. Actually decent. Awareness, demolition, security. That's really good. Sonic nullifiers. Neural band. Spacer sensor. Sturdy +1. That's really good. Accuracy gloves. Wait, these are redundant. Circuit defense gauntlets. Reflex 1. Stealth. Where is a blaster pistol? Laser. Really? But I had a blaster pistol. Didn't give it to her, did I? That ion. Static blaster. Mining laser. Could have sworn I had a blaster pistol that he was using. Like a proper blaster pistol. I didn't. Darn. Alright. Everybody is well equipped. Well enough equipped to deal with any problems that will inevitably arise. All right, Lieutenant.
Something I can help you with?
Yeah, reunited with everything, minus the Ebon Hawk in the... Yep. How will you recover from the destruction of the Paragus mining facility?
To be honest with you, I just don't know. We desperately rely on the fuel to keep Citadel Station running. If we can't find a new fuel source soon, we'll be in bad shape.
How bad?
There's enough fuel in the reserves to keep Citadel Station from falling out of orbit, and for managing the restoration project, but not much more than that.
Is there anything that can be done?
Absolutely. We need to find a new fuel service, sign contracts, make agreements. A soldier like me is not good at that sort of thing.
Okay, so administrators. I'd like to help if I can.
You? You've got enough trouble, I think. And this is all your fault anyway.
What? Still think I'm to blame?
Look, it doesn't matter what I think. But sure, if you find someone with a load of fuel in their hand they'd like to sell to us, let me know. I'll be waiting.
Okay. I will. Eventually. Yeah. I believe that's actually a thing that you can do relatively soon. The whole, like, solving the problems that you didn't exactly cause, but are in some way responsible for. I mean, you're responsible for it in the sense of you were something like a but-for cause. If you hadn't been present for the situation... Let's quick save again. If you hadn't been present for the situation, then you wouldn't have. Oh, you've returned. I'd like to buy your dancing girl. What you want for her? How about you wager her on a game of Pazak? Now that is an interesting suggestion. The situation, what a setup. Ramana lost Hera by a Pazak game to be wagered by Doten in another. I do like the way you think. Here's merit to your suggestion. Fine, I shall praise Ramana as a wager in a Pazak game. Against a wager of 1,000 credits on your own, I think. 1,000 credits it is. Excellent, let us play then. Hatton's blaster probably got stolen by one of the gossiping TSF officers. Alright, I'm going to go with my really unconventional deck. And cut out the +3. 3 and 6. Yeah. Yeah, that'll work. Let's try this. ±4, +4. No, keep... 20. You bastard. Alright. I don't know what I'm complaining about. That was perfectly legitimate. I need 19. Switch 20. There we go. I've used more cards than he has, though, and that's not a great start. But I think we're okay. Oh, God. Switch 2 and 4. Make that a -4. No, end. Ooh, okay. -2. Just need to win one more, but it's purely by chance this time. So this is... Oh, I can risk it. Oh, damn it. Okay. Try this again. Let's keep going. We still got a good shot. Got a good shot here. Son of a bitch. Okay. All comes down to this, and he has all 4 of his side deck. Oh, man. Oh, you son of a Reload. Let's try this again, shall we? Yunso. I'd like to buy your dancing girl. How much? Zach. 1,000 credits. Let's just rebuild from the start. Yeah, there we go. That's a better deck. Go with that. All right. Romana and the 1,000 credits are on the line. Don't lose. No pressure or anything. Don't lose again, you mean. All right. All right, he's going to stand at 19. Jeez. That's 2. Okay. 14 plus 6, 20. Oh, bastard. I'm in the same place I was last time. You'll notice. 16. Beat 16. Yeah, I can beat 16. Oh, right. Now that was luck. Well played, Mitra Surik. It was a good set of games, though perhaps not enough to make up for losing Romana. But I will keep my word. Very well. I'm sad to see her go, but it's true that it's always best to avoid becoming attached to anything in my line of work. Our business is completed, but I would ask you to depart from here now, but do not hesitate to call on me if you would like to have further exchange. Romana, your period of servitude to me is finished. Your ownership is transferred to this human. I see. In that case, I humbly submit to your wishes. I'm taking you back to Hara. Hara, even after what horror he has submitted me to, it's not my choice, it is yours. Let's go. That's a little troubling. Romana, this can't be true. Thought I'd lost you for sure. Don't sound so pleased, Hara. It's not as though you had anything to do with getting me free. Aren't you at least a little happy to see me? I couldn't care less. If she hadn't asked me to come, I would have been on the first shuttle out of here. You're free now, Romana. You can go with Hara. I have no desire to go with him. He means nothing to me. Then you can go wherever you wish. Do whatever you wish. It's fine, I guess. Thank you. You've given me a new life, and that I am thankful for. I still think you should, give him a chance. No, Romana, don't leave, please. I don't know whether to thank you or strike you. I guess I'll just leave it at that. I mean, yeah, we helped the situation, I suppose. We helped the situation, right? I mean, to be fair, he did vet his girlfriend. Which is, kind of horrific, really. Okay. Actually, more than kind of. That's extremely horrific. Locked. It sells droid parts, but I don't need droid parts. I need a quick save. Impossible. Possible. Back the door open. Yeah, I think, yeah, I agree. And Revan says, I think the girlfriend has every right to be upset and leave. Yes. Yeah, absolutely. We'll get through this eventually. know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna abuse the Force. Come on. Then we'll get through. There we go. Broken in. Broken and it's completely empty. Okay, whatever. It was such a waste. I'm glad I at least didn't use up a security tunneler for that. That would have been horrible. Okay, I can quick travel, I think. Yeah. Information terminal. Oh, download area map. Main menu. Transit to another module. Please select the new destination. Oh, return to main menu. Okay, never mind. I forgot to unlock these. I have to do that. Yeah, I think she absolutely has every right to be upset that her boyfriend bet her on a game of Pazak, bet her into slavery. Dude, like, there's nothing even remotely acceptable about that. That is a very good reason for her to leave. Let's see. Download area map. Turn to menu. Transit. Residential? No. Let's go to the docks. Where our ship would be if we had one! But also, where the, where that droid brain is supposed to be. Anyone here to talk to or nah? Oh, you're Habat's errand boy, hmm? What's it to you? Zerka has an offer for you. What's Zerka's offer? General Orso is prepared to pay you a sum of 250 credits to returning the Ithorian droid to Zerka. Did Habat offer you anything other than some empty promises? I'm not interested. Yeah, I agree. I don't know if there's enough couples therapy to fix that. I mean, there is beauty in the virtue of forgiveness. But, that is the kind of thing that I don't think that can develop back into a healthy relationship. If it were possible, that is a beautiful kind of thing to forgive. It's a hell of a thing to forgive, but that's kind of the point. Problem is, I have no reason to believe that what was it, Hama or Hana? I have no reason to believe he has changed. Oh my god, really? I don't think I've ever noticed that Easter egg. So, Lady Revan says, in the shuttle area, you'll see a Teresian NPC. You click on him, he sighs and says, I've been waiting to get a ship to go home to Taurus for 5 years. Oh my god. Anyway, not interested, Zerka bastard. I can tell you're too thick-headed to see through the lies you've told yourself. But if you have any doubt, talk to General Orso at the Zerka offices in Residential 081. Let's go. I'm gonna go actually do the thing that I was asked to do, and probably kill a bunch of your friends. Or at least co-workers. I don't know, friends. Okay. Transit. No, menu. I can't download the area schematic? The map? Darn, that's disappointing. What's over here? Let's check all of the areas first.
I hear the refugee problem on Nar Shaddaa is getting out of hand. I met someone who...
Nothing.
This dock is off limits pending an ongoing TSF investigation. Move along.
I bet that's the dock for the Ebon Hawk. Right where it was stolen from. Yep. What's over here? Who's this guy? This is a private docking bay owned and operated by Zerka Corporation. Unless you have business here, please move along. Or I'll be going. I think you should find it walking around or right in the area where you first entered the shuttle area. I'm going to take a look at that. This is docking bay 3. If you have no business here, please be on your way. What goes on here? The docking bay is privately owned and operated by the Citadel Station branch of Zerka Corporation. Any relevant inquiries should be directed to the Zerka offices. Yada yada yada. Okay, bye. Yeah, I'm gonna go look. Let's see if I can find the guy. He's a little Taurus citizen. Interesting. Is it that guy? He looks Taurasian. Yes, there he is.
I've been waiting for my flight to Terrace for 5 years.
No one told him? The poor bastard. Greetings. At least, like... At least he was off planet when it was, you know, glassed. That poor bastard. Jodo Habat sent me to deliver the replacement restoration droid. Yes, he sent word ahead of you. Please enter. They're waiting for you inside. Okay. Airlock terminal. Open Bay 2 door. Alright, before we go there, I'm going to go up to the security station. This. Bay control. Impossible. Whack! Whack! Why am I doing this? Hold on. I'm gonna quick save again, just in case this is a bad idea. Now I'll whack it open. Whack better. Yay! Howdy, friend. You shouldn't be here. I must devote my full attention to the operation of the docking bay. I'll be going. Really, that's it? Okay. I really needed to stop bothering getting into places where I don't belong. Not actually helpful. Lady Resin says, I wonder what would happen if you told the poor guy he's been waiting 5 years for a destroyed planet. I hope his family wasn't there. Yeah, right? It was just on a business trip. Yeah, no, that's awful. Everything about that is awful. This is really, really bad.
I'm glad you're here. I'm the only man the TSF could spare, and frankly, I got a bad feeling about this.
Yes, we are pleased to see you. Chodo Habat said that another would arrive to help us.
Excuse me, Master, but it seems we have some additional visitors.
The placement of these protocol droids' eyes is a little bit disturbing to me. Who are you? How did you get in here? Oh. Hey, Kreia, just do a spook to them. And then do a scream at that guy. Go ahead and lightning that one. Push her. Atten, go ahead and just shoot the crap out of everybody.
I hear you. Time
to
even the odds.
God.
Time to take you down to size.
Go horror. And scream if she's still alive.
I hear you.
Speed. There we go. I'm grateful for your assistance. That was most terrible. I wonder if I could have ordered such a thing. Who could have ordered such a thing?
One of the assailants was carrying this.
An assassin's tool. It's no surprise that hired killers would carry weapons such as these. Revan says it makes me wonder if he's just been walking around the shuttle area for 5 years without anyone working there telling him it's a lost cause. Yeah? Or he just didn't notice that the... I'm assuming, like I have to assume he bought a ticket. And it's just, it never became used because, you know... It's, you know... it looks as though the blaster has been heavily modified. Interesting. I believe you're correct, though. By no means an expert. Such modifications are illegal in Citadel Station. Lieutenant Gren should be informed, so we might conduct an investigation. I'll leave it with you. But more importantly, we must take the droid back to Chogobat. I fear there may be more attacks if we do not see to it safely. Yes, I'll get the droid back to the Ithorians right away. Modified. Hold-out blaster. Good. Lacks heavy armor. I have no use for that. Is it me, or does this dead guy in particular look like Dave Cullen from Computing Forever? If anybody's familiar at all with Dave Cullen, I think that guy looks a lot like him. Oh, hey. Interesting. Oh. Really? That's... Really? Nothing. Really? Okay, fine. Come on.
I will trust your judgment, Master. Lead the way.
Yes. Follow me to the Ithorian compound. I'm gladdened by your safe return. My people sent word what happened at the docks.
I am yours to command, Master.
Good, good. Our computer system has been prepared for your arrival. You may begin transferring your data into it immediately.
I shall do so now, Master Habak. Farewell, and farewell to you as well.
I'm grateful for your help in this matter. Please accept this as a gift from my people. I found this blaster on one of the assailants. I'm sorry, I'm not familiar with this sort of thing. Perhaps you should take it to Lieutenant Gren. He may be of more help. Is there anything else I can do to help you? This incident for docks confirmed one of my fears. The gunman from the Exchange. Zerka has hired the criminal syndicate to work against us. Long have I suspected that Zerka and the Exchange worked together, the former supplying manufactured arms and sold via the latter's black market channels. Now, with the TSF keeping a closer eye on Zerk activities, the corporation has turned to the Exchange to be its fist at the Citadel Station. What is there to be done? I've tried to meet with their leader of the Exchange here, a Quarren named Lopak Slusk. He has refused my every invitation and allows no one inside the Exchange suites. I fear he does not take us seriously. The Jedi, though, are renowned as warriors and diplomats both. Perhaps you might speak to Lopak, show him the value of a restored Telos. I'll go speak with him. I'm grateful for your assistance. I will guide my thoughts towards your safety, and Lopak's as well. I wish harm upon no one. And we got Joushay Perception Gloves. Awareness, Dexterity, and Wisdom. Yeah, that's really good. Alright, cool. Get out of here. Get out of here. Conquered another round of Ithorian dialogue. Yeah. Oh, man. Area map. Logout. Cool. Let's see. Medical. Station. East. Varium. We got 10 minutes. Alright, hold up at blaster. Okay, that's, let's transfer to a different area. Transit to another module. Entertainment module 081. Let's talk to that smuggler guy, shall we? The sketchy brother. Oh, Lady Revan says, I'm glad they added more aliens in this game. You mean like more types of aliens? Because that's definitely the case. The first game had a lot of aliens, but I think they were a lot of the same variety. I don't think there were any Duros in the first game. I know there weren't any Quarren in the first game because it's hard to animate a bunch of tentacles. Were there Ithorians? I don't think there were any Ithorians. So yeah, it's really cool. That's one of the coolest parts of any Star Wars media, and what makes it feel so Star Warsy is the variety of aliens, especially in major like speaking roles, so to speak. And honestly, that was kind of something that felt like it was missing from the sequel trilogy to a large extent. Even though I know there were a lot of aliens, but it's also weird that there were so few familiar alien species. Like, the sequel trilogy introduced us to a lot of new alien species, and just some that weren't even, like, listed as species at all. They're just kind of, you know, a random monster makeup job, that kind of thing. But, like, they didn't have... There wasn't, for example, there wasn't a single Duros. There wasn't a single Quarian. There were 2 Mon Calamari. That's it. The only Wookiee was Chewbacca. Right? There were so few familiar alien species in the sequel trilogy, where they just felt like kind of making new ones, which was disappointing. It was really disappointing. Whereas, I mean, there was already a massive catalog of alien species. Literally, I mean, darn, my complete guide to alien species is new essential guide to alien species is in the other room, not right here. But that's disappointing. It was really disappointing. Welcome. How may I assist you? What can you tell me about this blaster? Give it here, let me take a look. Yes, it's very interesting, very good craftsmanship. But no, I can't tell you anything about it other than it was a hold-up blaster. Upgraded. I want to know who sold the weapon I was attacked with. I will admit I sold it, but I sold a great many things. You can't hold it against me for doing business, can you? Do you know anything about the smuggling operation on the station? Actually, perhaps you should be more careful about who your weapons are purchased by. Oh, believe me, if I could, I would, but you must understand the reality. As careful as I try to be, I still fall into the wrong hands. As though you cared, Samhan. Those thugs and scoundrels pay very well for you to look the other way. Nor my brother. He's merely jealous that his current financial situation is less than successful. But at least I can sleep at night. Now, what can I do for you? You know anything about the smuggling operation on the station? I know it is an extremely lucrative arrangement. You may say my knowledge is first-hand. Are you an idiot? You just incriminated yourself. I'll report you to the TSF. Oh, come now. You really think me that foolish, do you? You have no real evidence, and without it, circa money is more than enough to keep the TSF out of my business. Lady Revan says, all I remember from KOTOR 1 is a lot of Duros and Twi'leks, some Ithorians, and a few Quarian NPCs in the terrace apartment complex. Were there Quarians? I don't remember there being Quarians. There might have been... Oh, there were Aqualish. There were Aqualish thugs. There were a few Rhodians. Then there's the aliens from the unknown planet. Oh, true, the Ricotta. They were... That was new for that game, though, actually. They fit in well, though, really. How is Zerka involved? Because TSF is barred from monitoring activity in Zerka's private docking bay. I reached a generous agreement with Lorso for its use. Great. I'll be going now. I'm going to talk to your brother. If he has anything to add. Welcome back. Is there anything I can get you? No. I mean, I can offer to help with the smuggling operation. I have a feeling that's going to earn me dark side points, though. Unless I go ahead and, like... I don't know. That's something I can look up. I'm going to go really quickly. By really quickly, I mean 4 speed. Go nice and quickly to the TSF station and talk to the Lieutenant. Lieutenant Dan, or whatever it is. Let's just go with Lieutenant Dan. Whee! Gotta go fast.
Something I can help you with?
Sam Adobo is the source of black market goods on Citadel Station.
I'm not surprised to hear that. We've been very curious about his business arrangements, but have had trouble getting any real evidence. Samhan's no fool. He knows just how far he can go, and he stays a hair's breadth within those lines. But he seems to trust you. Maybe we can use that to our advantage.
What do you have in mind?
If we could catch Samhan in the act, we could arrest him and have more than enough evidence to have him put on trial. But it's catching him in the act that's the problem. If you could convince him to trust you, we could hit him right in the middle of a transaction.
I'll go see if I can help him then.
Just see what he wants you to do. We'll have to play it by ear from there. Good luck.
All right, cool. Let's do it. Do we have time? We have 3 minutes. Really hope this doesn't take too long. Actually, you know what? let's get over there, and then we'll save, because I'm going to start that next time. It is getting late. It's getting very close to midnight, and I have class in the morning, first thing, 9:30 a.m. So what we're going to do is we're going to come right over here. We're going to wrap it there for the night. So let's do that one. There we go. So, seeing as it is basically midnight, that is about all the time we have for tonight. So, thank you all for being here, and thanks for joining me. We'll pick up here next Monday, same place and same time as usual. And then on Thursday, we are going to either wrap up or get very close to wrapping up Dragon Age Inquisition. We are on the Trespasser DLC, so that's the very end of the entire Dragon Age series so far, until Dragon Age 4, the Dreadwolf comes out. And so that'll be either wrapped up this week or next week. And then after we are finished wrapping up the Dragon Age series, we're going to be moving our Thursday streams on to playing Kingdom Come Deliverance, which I have yet to play, and I've been looking forward to it very much, playing it with you guys on stream. So I hope to see you then, hope to see you Thursday, and I hope to see you again next Monday. Otherwise, have a good night, everybody, and I'll see you next time. There we go. Good night.